No, do it again.
She fixes up real quick when that red light goes on.
Yeah, when the record button goes on, I turn into proper Zoe.
You guys didn't know Zoe was sounding like she was giving neck right before Chris.
That is not what I sounded like. I was.
You know what's crazy?
What is wrong with you guys?
It's her interview voice, her high profile, interviewing a celebrity voice. Like, the voice that Zoe came with for the interview was like,
I had a super different voice for the Pressa interview. That's me.
Giving neck.
Play my fucking intro, please. Jesus Christ.
Like Zoe mama, I go relentless. What up, Zoe? Relentless. What up, Zoe? Relentless. Shut the fuck up, Clyde. Except Trey.
Period. Shut the fuck up, Clyde. All episode, because we'll get into why I'm telling you to the fuck up, Clyde. All episode. But everyone, welcome to episode 18. 18?
Where'd you get
Thank you.
It's 18?
We're at 18. Boom, boom. Episode 18 of the Relentless Diaries. I am your main host, Big Zoe. And I'm here with my guys. One of them pissed me off. Actually, both of them pissed me off. One of them pissed me off more than the other. So who wants to go first?
Hello, guys. It's Trezor. I'm too tired to do my whole intro today. But yeah, it's me.
Look at you. So tired.
It's Clyde Smith, the podcaster, rapper, actor, and not a cameraman. So
not a cameraman.
Not a professional cameraman.
Drop the bomb on that one, yeah. Not the production guru.
Yeah, the production guru, but it's just not specifically a cameraman. Like, I'm a jack of all trades, but not master of...
Are you a jack of all trades if you are not the cameraman?
Yeah, I am the cameraman.
That's a trade that you don't have.
It is a trade I have. I'm just not elite. There are other things I'm better at than being
cameramen
a cameraman.
Do what you did?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that happens.
All the time?
Not all the time. It happens.
Got it.
I'm sure that happens pretty regularly.
Okay.
People lose footage. People lose equipment. It happens, yes.
Yeah.
It does. I know it's a whole different world to you, but it takes place. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Speaking of your world.
Speaking of my world, what about it?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, we have a jam-packed episode. I'm sure people want to hear us talk about Rolling Loud and, the interviews that we did. And there's been a whole bunch of fuckery that's been going on recently. So, first of all, let's just get this out of the way and very clear, okay? Because I am tired of fighting Americans on Beyonce's internet, all right? So, if you follow us on TikTok, and if you don't, you should be, we posted a clip, right? So at Rolling Loud, which we will get into a little bit later in the episode, we interviewed the infamous Pressa. Okay? It was a good interview. We'll also have that up on our YouTube shortly. Novocaine Press. Anyways, so it was a good interview, surprisingly, Pressa was very engaging with us. He did, people are like, oh, Pressa doesn't talk that much. He did. So we posted a clip on TikTok, right? And this is funny because backstory from the actual interview, we were about to wrap up the interview because Pressa was on a very strict time limit. We were about, Tresor literally says in the interview, all right, thanks you everyone for watching. This has been the Relentless Diaries at Rolling Loud. Pressa says, hola. I don't know why I did Jamaican accent. That's not how he sounds at all.
That's where the clip started.
But he goes, yo, hold on. He's like, yo, so how, basically how do you guys feel about American, people and their heritage or whatever, right? So I'm going to be very clear. Very, very clear.
Let's say what he said exactly.
So yeah, he said that.
What do you think about Americans not knowing where they're
basically
from?
Not knowing where they're from.
Which is what
right? That's what Pressa asked us, right? I said that so let me explain why I said what I said. Initially, what I said is I used to argue with Americans when that question used to come up, right? I could admit that I did not really know much back then when that question comes up. So let me be clear, right? I am from Canada. I'm a Black Canadian, right? I was born here. Most people of our generation, there's a lot of immigrants in Canada, okay? If you are a person of color or if you are mainly Black, because I'll speak to Black people as I am a Black person, you are most likely a product of an immigrant, right? All of our parents are immigrants, correct?
Yeah.
Right? Or what? Are both your parents immigrants? One?
Only one of my
parents. Okay, yeah.
is
So your father is an immigrant.
Yeah. But,
right?
But my grandparents on the other side are immigrants too.
Right.
So I guess.
Okay, so point is we're all products of immigrants, correct? Canada has a lot of immigrants. That is a known thing. So when you are interacting with other people of color in Toronto, let's talk about Toronto specifically. When you're interacting with other people of color in Toronto, when we get the question, where are you from? None of us say, oh, like Brampton, which is a city outside of Toronto, Mississauga. We don't say the city we're from, or we don't say, oh, I'm Canadian. We automatically say the ethnicity that we were raised in, or whatever our parents are, right? So for example, when you ask Tresor, yo, fam, like if a Toronto man asks Tresor, yo, fam, what are you? What are you going to say?
I'm Jamaican and Congolese.
Clyde, if someone asks you, yo, what are you?
I'm Trini.
Okay.
I'm Trini and British.
Yeah. And if someone asks me, yo, what are you? I'm going to say Jamaican, right? Even I've also seen it similar in the UK, where I've had UK people ask me, because when you're outside of Toronto, naturally I'll say, like if I'm traveling, people go, where are you from? I will say Toronto, right? Because I'm not in Toronto. So when UK people ask me, where are you from? And I say Toronto, they look at me like I'm dumb. They're like, no, where are you from? And then it clicks, I go, oh, sorry, Jamaican, right? Because they want to know your ethnicity, basically. That's what they're asking in less words. So back in my days when I didn't understand, I used to go to the States and ask people, where are you from? And they would say, America. And I would say, same as a UK person, like, no, where are you from? And they would say, I'm American. And to me, I'm expecting, a country, like, to me, I just thought immigration was the same in America, right? Where at least someone that I asked would be from somewhere outside the States. Obviously, I'm very well aware that African American is an ethnicity and it is a culture. In our interview, we never said that it wasn't. We never once diminished African American as a culture. So let's make that very clear. We do know that is a culture. We can all agree to that, right?
Facts.
The simple difference is when you ask a Black Canadian, because we are all products of immigrants, we automatically answer our ethnicity. People are like, since when is Jamaican ethnicity? What the fuck are you talking about? Of course it's an ethnicity. It's literally a cultural group, right? Same with Trinidadian, same with Congolese, okay? My nationality is Canadian. My ethnicity is Jamaican. My culture, I guess. Well, ethnicity and culture the same. My race is Black, right? Those are like the three. So race, race, ethnicity, and nationality, right? Race, Black, nationality, Canadian, ethnicity, Jamaican.
And ethnicity is more so tangible with culture.
Exactly, because that's the social practices you have. It's a culture group that you fit in. It's the music you listen to. It's the language you, like patois, whatever, right? That's what I identify. I was raised in a Jamaican household. That's what I identify as, right? So I am not, we are not by any means diminishing African Americans and the Black American experience. It's all I'm saying is it is simply just different. I don't know why that went over so many people's heads. I don't know, I don't know Pressa's full history on what statements he's made when it came to Black Americans. I'm speaking on Zoe, myself, right? I'm saying is I really had to learn that, obviously Americans don't, air quotations, know much of their history because their history is America, right? So I can't expect them to know. There's like, we have to know what tribe. I don't expect you to know what tribe you come from. Obviously, I've learned that. I've had conversations with my American friends where they say, because when I used to be like, I don't understand how you're not telling me, like, like where you're from. Like, listen, as far as I can go back, my family has been American, which is understandable, right? Also, I've had friends who have told me themselves, like, I honestly would one day love to know where exactly I came from outside of America, which you can do however you choose. I'm not telling anyone that you have to. I'm saying that I'm supportive, or I would, it's cool if you do want to learn outside what your ancestry comes from. Even if you are not American, if you are Jamaican, if you are Trinidadian, if you are South American, we all know we came on boats. That is not, like, stop trying to tell me shit that I know. I know we all came on boats.
Different stops.
There's also native Black Jamaicans, and there's also native Black Canadians. If you ask a Nova Scotian, for people who listen in the States who don't know what Nova Scotia is a province in Canada, right? There are Black Scotians, right? Black Scotians who go way back generations. I know Black people in Canada who have Indigenous cards. If you have an Indigenous card in Canada, that means you don't pay tax. And I believe you also don't pay school tuition, because your family goes back, I think, at least 3 to 4 generations Canadian. There are Black people I know with those cards. So that exists. But when you ask those black people, where are you from? They say, I'm Scotian, because their family ancestry is Nova Scotia, which is completely fine. To me, I just don't understand why it went over some people's heads when we say, to me, it's like we never diminished African American culture at all. We're very much aware of it. And I think it's just literally, it's just knowing the difference of how we came from. I had to learn it, like I said, I had to learn it myself. Because I'm not from America. I'm used to being around immigrants or products of immigrants. People come from different places. But obviously in America, we know you're 400 years deep in slavery. We know that, right? We're not telling you you have to find out where you come from. No.
I think like a lot of because I was very surprised, I guess, at the reaction and how visceral it was. I feel like a lot of the responses weren't dealing exactly with what we said. Even Pressa at the end of the clip is very much like, we're not dissing, like we gotta, what you just said, we want to, be in touch with, blackness and black awareness, and that's why that is important. I think it's very, very much a very like tender, sensitive topic for them,
Absolutely.
Because they weren't dealing with like what you said. And I also understand and have empathy for that, because like when you are directly the person who is receiving from a problem or oppression or something like that, hearing somebody else that isn't from that same walk of life speak on your experience can be triggering,
Right.
It can be upsetting for them. So I feel like, it's a lot of raw emotion. It's a sensitive conversation, and maybe it's not something that is ready to be openly discussed on social media forums, because it was getting heated on TikTok and Twitter too.
Yeah,
right?
and to me, it's like we were like, oh, this is like, we're a part of the diaspora, and this is a diaspora. I'm like, this is not really a diaspora, where I feel like a lot of, and some people in the comments were very like, understand, like, listen, like they're from Canada.
There were understanding people too.
They're a lot of them, they come from different countries, right? Some of those like, no, like, why is Black American culture? Oh, I'm like, bro, it was never diminished. We never once talked down on it. We never once said, yo, y'all need to go and do deeper research. Like, no, obviously we know African American culture is a thing. African American is an ethnicity. But I'm saying the same way Americans have to learn things about Canadians, it's vice versa, right? So I don't understand why, like, it was so much like we are like these negative Black people. We're not like y'all, and this.
They want to be like us.
They want to be like, I'm like,
why
I don't understand why all this was coming from something where, it wasn't that. I don't think to us we came off negative. If we did, this is literally why I'm explaining it, because obviously we people in the States who listen to our shit or watch us on TikTok or whatever, it's very, like I said, it's just difference. Here we are products of immigration. There you are the history of your country. That's literally what it is. So here we answer with ethnicity. And yes, Jamaican, Trinidadian, South America, whatever, is ethnicity. And there you answer with American, because that is what you are. You built that country. That's fine. I'm just saying that I had to learn the difference before, because that's not something that I was accustomed to in Canada or the UK. Because also in the UK, there are also a lot of products of immigrants too, whether it's Caribbean, African, etc. We're very similar.
I think this is just another welcome to the internet type moment, because I can almost guarantee if you had the same conversation with those same people in person, the reaction would be different. It's just because it's the internet, they're listening to respond, they're not listening to comprehend, and it's more so people are just listening for buzzwords. So when you hear someone else that's not African American talk about history or background or anything that has to do with that, people automatically just go on attack mode without actually really listening to what we're saying. Because I thought the same thing too, because literally I said, the first thing I literally said after he asked the question, I was like, you can't blame them because of slavery. That's literally the first thing I said was, you can't blame them because of slavery. And then I said, but I do think everyone should know where they're from, however you want to do that. If you want to take a 23andMe or whatever you have to do.
They also got, people were offended at that.
Yeah, they really got up in arms about that.
Yeah.
Like, why? Because what other options do y'all have?
They want to they are African American, and they should, like, that's it.
If that's what you want to do, then okay, cool.
Yeah, but I mean, like, to me, it's like,
not that deep.
Like I said, African American, like, it stops there, right? That's where it's, unless you are African American, that is it. I recognize that, and I praise you. Yes, you guys are worldwide, and we know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything with African American, whether it's food, whether it's culture, whether it's African American, verbiage, vernacular, all that stuff. Yes, we know that travels across the North American borders and so on. Right?
And I personally don't think it's offensive to say that people should know where they're from. I think that's just a common thing across.
But to African Americans, they are from America.
Well,
right?
Their backgrounds, because now you get into.
But they say their backgrounds are African American because
Yes.
that's all they know. That's where they're like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's
like
their native land.
that is
That's what they say.
But the thing, and also Jamaica is not really native land to most Jamaicans.
not,
It is to some, but most is not. And they're like, well, you're Jamaican. Like, are you indigenous to Jamaica? And I'm like, no, but I'm talking about the North American experience. That's the difference. I'm talking about how we answer that question in North America, in Canada versus the United States.
Yeah.
And how that, to me, I had to learn, and that reaction had to change from me looking at you sideways like, what do you mean you're just American, versus me understand when you say American, okay, that means that you're African American and your family has been here for generations on generations on generations. I'm not going to push that.
It feels like something that was very emotionally charged and that they're tired of hearing, or it's a discussion that they don't really want to have.
That's fair. But let me fucking explain myself. You know what I'm saying?
Also from our end too, you know, there's not that I think this was an element totally heavily spewed throughout this discussion or anything, but like there's also a lot of things that get leveled at Black Canadians about like, just for an example, actually this isn't Canadian, but when Get Out came out, and Daniel Kaluuya, Samuel L. Jackson was doing an interview on Hot 97, and he was saying how he shouldn't have played that role because only African Americans and Black people from America can know what that experience is like about dealing, you know, with racism and whatnot. And I also like just feel like, you know, there could be a lot of false misinformation in that realm of shit too, you know?
Right.
And that's kind of why it's a conversation that Canadians and Black Canadians have often.
Right.
Because sometimes it's almost like we get denied our Blackness, where it's like,
right,
you know, unless you were born in America and then you're Black. Otherwise, if you're Black from Haiti or the UK or Canada or something, then you're not African American. You can't say Black. Black is something solely American, which is. And
I had someone in the comments was like, well, why do you guys say nigga on your podcast? And I'm like,
shit like that, right?
Huh? Like now we're really just getting into fuckery.
Comprehension.
And not all
or
Americans
they said,
are saying that
they said,
either.
why do Canadians say nigga then?
Yeah.
Or why do Black Canadians say nigga? And it's like, okay, you completely missing the mark. And people are like, well, how do you expect Americans to know where they're from? I'm like, bro, I never said I expect anyone to know anything. I was talking about how I had to learn it. And the reason why I said I had empathy is because, like I said, my personal experience, I had friends who've told me, yo, like, eventually one day, like, I feel like I want to know because I feel like, you know, it's weird. Like, I'm not saying that, and people are like, oh, well, they don't have pride in being. I'm like, yeah, why cannot two things be true? I can be a very prideful Jamaican, but want to know more about outside of Jamaica where I'm from. I know most likely my family's not indigenous to Jamaica. Like I'm saying, I know I have like maroon blood somewhere, but maroon is not really indigenous. That's like a community that was off the slave trade, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're Jamaican, you can also know more of your background. Same if you're Guyanese, Chinese, or Guyanese Black. You know what I'm saying? There's still background there too. But we're very much aware we all were part of the slave trade. We're not stupid.
I saw this clip on Twitter, I think, of a Twitter space where it was another one of those discussions where I'm pretty sure it was a UK space. It was like people from the UK and people from America. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure it was like Africans like from the UK. And they were trying to debate the fact that, and once again, I'm just repeating what I heard. This is not what I think. They were debating the fact that basically they were saying that, yo, you guys are saying that you're American, even though your lineage goes back, you're not technically like native to America, right?
Right.
And the Americans were trying to say, yeah, we're American because my lineage goes far back to America. And the UK people were saying, okay, if you're American, you know how that comes with like a culture, right? If you're indigenous to a place, it comes to a culture. They're like, okay, if you guys are American, what language do you guys speak? What is your like what is the indigenous language to you as Black Americans? What is the indigenous religion to you as Black Americans? Because technically, if you were indigenous to this land, you wouldn't be speaking English because that's the language of the colonizers. You wouldn't technically be Christian because that's the religion of the colonizers. So, you know, that's what they were trying to argue, and they were having a heated back and forth about that. And I was like, like, I get the angle that they're coming from. I can't say that I agree or disagree, but I get the angle that they were coming from. It's an interesting thing to think about. Yeah,
well, I mean, there's also like African American vernacular, which I mean, Patois isn't really a language, so African American vernacular isn't also a language. I feel like
Patois should be a language.
Yeah, I hear a lot of polarizing discussions about what you just said. You know, because a lot of Jamaicans will get very.
I'm saying it's not a language. Technically, it's not. I think language. Yeah, it's not a registered language. I'm just saying. I'm speaking facts. I don't want anyone to get confused. I'm just speaking facts right now.
That's true. Yeah.
Patois is not a registered language. Do I think it should be? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because isn't like Haitian Creole like a mixture of languages? Is it?
Yeah. It's like, like kind of like broken French sort of ish.
And if you don't have like Jamaican family or friends, or it's not like a group of people that you're around often, if you go and watch Shatas, you need like
you're not going to completely understand.
You need subtitles, Jamaican. You know, if you're going to watch Shatas or anything like that, you know. So some
people don't even understand dancehall.
Exactly.
They have no idea what the fuck we be saying.
Yeah.
But my thing is, either way, I want to keep this short and sweet because we're going to post this and make sure people know it was never supposed to be offensive. And I'm glad people are like, this needs to be talked about more detail because people knew, this is going to go right over certain. And I was saying it wasn't everyone, but it was a lot of people. It completely went right over your head where people weren't listening with comprehension. They were listening for to defend. Until I really got in like comments and like responded, and they're like, okay, I understand that now. And it's like, okay, well, if you were really listening to what at least what we were saying, you would know it wasn't coming from a place of malice or being dismissive. Like, we're very well aware. If you listen to this podcast, regardless, you will know how aware we are when it comes to different ethnicities, nationalities, race, and so on. We talk about it all the time.
It's the internet, bro. You could say you love apples and people will argue about how you hate oranges.
Right.
I also think there's like a thing with the internet too when it comes to sensitive issues, whether it be about race or homophobia or any of those types of things. Like, people don't allow people to cover that learning curve like in real time. There isn't really grace for people to learn and understand the nuances to these things. Can't. It's like you need, as soon as you know it, you need to just like throw it into your lexicon immediately. Like I'd even say that like language with like, you know, the LGBTQ community or something like that. It's you want to like use the proper, you know, pronouns and words and everything, but like you're a human being. Sometimes if it's new information you just learned, you may forget, you may slip up the first time. And like, I feel like the internet doesn't give you that grace to learn things and then apply it to your real life. So.
And I don't think we slipped up. I just think we didn't go into the full depth because people really just took what it was very surface level. This is not a surface level conversation. So I will say that we probably should have gotten to, but like I said, it was a quick interview. We had like 8 minutes, 10 minutes of time. But now, since I have time, I will dive deep into it that I need to explain exactly what we meant. Because it's like I said, like we said, you know, oh, we're different, blah, blah. It used to be like this. And they're like, well, African-American isn't ethnicity. It's like, I know that. The words African-American is not considered ethnicity never came out of my mouth. Never came out of anyone's mouth once. Right?
I also think on a positive note, you know, I think you guys did a great job, you know, interviewing Pressa, because like you guys said on the vlog, you know, he has a reputation for being, you know, quiet and stuff. So I like, what other podcast interviewer is getting Diaspora chats out of Pressa? You know? So I'm just,
Yeah. But I mean, regardless of that, I hope that cleared it up for people because hopefully. I was like, yo, like what? And the thing is, there are also a lot of people, like, there are a lot of people who broke it down who are from Toronto who were like, I don't understand why this is wild. Like, this is really our experience when going to America. People say they're American. Like, at first, it's kind of like, it's not like this crazy shock, but it's like, oh, I don't get it. No, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And then once you have people who are not defensive and, you know, respectful enough to explain it to you, then like I said, I've had friends who explain it to me and I completely understand it. From now on, I recognize it. And people who've said, yo, I don't really know where I'm from. All I know is I'm American. That's completely fine. You know you're African American. That's your ethnicity. That's how you identify. That is completely fine. Some people want empathy. Some people don't want empathy. I'll give you what you want. Either people like, we don't get empathy. I'm like, do you want empathy? But we don't need empathy. Okay, so I won't give it.
I saw that. I don't feel the empathy.
All I'm saying is we recognize exactly what you guys are. We recognize the history of it. We know there's a lot of non-indigenous this, and that. It's cool. Be cool. That's that.
Name 4 cities in Canada. All of you Americans that were in these comments, please go back in that comment section and name 4 cities in Canada. The whole country. To
me, it's like, I just hate playing like and like I said, like to me, it was more of like, we learn about Black awareness like most of the time, right? I travel all the time. So obviously I learn about Black awareness in the States versus Black awareness in Canada versus Black awareness in the UK. It's all different experience. Mm-hmm. It's similar, but it's different. But it's like, I'm not here to shit on anybody's experience. I'm telling you how I had to learn out of my ignorance. So when some of y'all want to learn out of your ignorance, listen to this section.
But most people don't want to. Most people don't want to get
because a lot of y'all will feel very stupid once I explain exactly what I said. All I'm saying is our experience is very different.
Facts. Well, now that you got that off your chest.
Well, yeah, now that I got that off my chest, rest in peace, PNB Rock. That was super. I feel like we've said RIP on this podcast a lot.
Yep. I mean, there's been
in the last 2 years.
Death is constant.
Right?
Yeah.
Been a lot of death in the last 2 years.
Unfortunately. But I feel like everyone listening should know. And if you don't know who PNB Rock is, he was a really good rap and hip hop artist. And he recently just went independent. I think not too long ago, he became an independent artist, which I think he ended up releasing, I don't know how many songs as an independent artist, but I really liked his music. I used to rinse his Unforgettable freestyle in like 2017, 2018, like it was nothing. I think it was like 2017. But yeah, and unfortunately, a Black man lost his life, I believe, at the hands of another Black man. I don't know what the suspects were. I don't know what their races were. But, over bullshit like robbing someone for a physical, for a tangible item. It's like, I think I saw I don't know how true the statistic is, so don't come for me. But there was a statistic, and I read it online that said that I think the number one cause of death for Black men in America ages I think it was 5 to 44 is homicide. I don't know how true that is. Something that I just read online. Don't come for me. I don't know how true that is. Right? But homicide is definitely, if it's not number one, it's one of the leading causes of deaths for Black men in America, right? Whether it's at the hands of police or the hands of other Black men, gang violence, whatever the case is, stuff like that, right? So it's unfortunate that we lost another public figure and talent to gun violence because reportedly they wanted to rob him, right? It was robbery. So
for jewelry and
jewelry
very
and stuff.
Frivolous
I mean,
things.
I'm not here to give my think pieces on what I feel should have happened or what I feel should have been done or whatever the case is. But what I will say, that he did not have to lose his life. That is what I will say, right? I'm not here to blame people. I'm not here to say, he should have had security if he was wearing such expensive items, or he should have, this is not, I mean, he should have, could have, would have, whatever, up until whatever. He's still not here, right? He's still going to be 6 feet under whenever they bury him. But it's I just don't I will genuinely just never understand the notion of taking a life for just some shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's even if he didn't want to give up his jewelry, was it really worth killing him or attempting to kill him, or I'm saying, even pulling the trigger? Y'all couldn't even swung a fist. You know what I'm saying? I just feel if you were there's just so many I don't think it had to be that final.
Yeah.
Off of dumb shit like that.
It definitely didn't. It's a ongoing issue within the Black community. Senseless gun violence, and every time this happens, specifically in music, I just feel I feel this doesn't happen in any other genre of music. People getting killed. People obviously die in other genres of music, but not at the rapid rate that hip hop and rap artists die, especially getting murdered, especially from gun violence. Like, it's ridiculous that the fact that this is a thing and you're saying RIP to another different rapper every month, every 2 months. And if you think about all of because hip hop is still the #1 genre. And if you think of all the great talent that we've lost, if they were still alive as well, imagine how much more music we would have. Like PNB, Pop Smoke,
Nipsey,
X, Nipsey, even you go even farther back, Lil Snoop, King Von, O3, Young Dolph, Draco. Like, there's so many people that are super talented artists that have been killed, and it's actually ridiculous, bro. Like, it gets tiring, and it's sad that we're almost desensitized to it as a community. It's like, damn, he died. Damn, that sucks. R.I.P. And then we move on. Like, that's not how life should be. And once again, like, the internet, I feel like the internet just takes humanity out of things. Like, people forget that people are people. Like, people have families. Even just the way that
the video,
like the video of him.
Did you guys see it?
Unfortunately,
I saw it unwillingly. I saw it
involuntary. Yeah.
Like,
sorry. Before, like, when I found out, so I saw a tweet from a news anchor's like Twitter account saying that he was shot in LA. Right? No one confirmed his death. He was just shot in LA, and he literally. So I opened the Twitter thread, and the next tweet was, "Please do not share the video in this Twitter thread. It's disturbing, and I don't want it connected to my profile." So I'm like, fuck, if there's a video out there, like, I didn't want to search it, nothing. And I don't know why I didn't think to like mute his name, but I also wanted to keep up to see if they were going to confirm his death or see like he's in whatever recovery. So I didn't want to mute the name, but I also didn't think like it would come up on my timeline. But for some reason it came up and I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately I did see it, but it's like, like you said, like the internet and social media takes like, the internet can be a very positive thing, right? And I work in social media, right? That's how I make my living. It can be a very positive thing. It can be something that, works for businesses. It's a huge money maker, right? But on the flip side, when you use certain media in certain ways, like you said, it takes the humanity out of people. Because why the fuck, like, would you think that if someone got shot, whether the person is known, not known, whatever, the first thing that you do is to record them suffering?
And in that recording, he like is captioning it and like putting like, oh, PNB got shot. And the dude like spelt it wrong. He put like PND or something like that. You know? So like, that's really like disgusting to think about that. Your first instinct to see a celebrity getting shot is to pull out your phone. And then like, you don't even really care or know about him enough to even spell his name or like, it's the humanity that is lost in a situation like that. Also, just so you were saying just about like, this happening to rappers and it happening in abundance specifically to rappers. And I really feel like society, I don't know, maybe this is a heavy-handed way to frame it, but like I feel like society has failed rappers, Like you said, it's pop culture. They are the #1 genre. They influence things on a mass scale, billion-dollar industry, yet the industry is made for them to fail. Like record labels almost are happy when their artist dies because they know there's going to be an uptick in streams for their catalog, And the media spins narratives against rappers that have conflicts with each other to make them kill each other, And this doesn't happen anywhere else in any other genre, and it's disgusting because it's mostly black men that this is happening to. And it's a lack of humanity. One time, Jim Jones did an interview, and he was saying how being a rapper is like being in Iraq or being like a soldier or something. And I remember he got a lot of flack for it. But when you look at situations like this, you kind of understand where he's coming from, because
you're a walking target sometimes.
And the statistic you said you started with, about like black males in between a certain age, like the #1 cause being homicide or something.
Or let's say leading cause. I don't know what
one of the
leading causes, right?
This is a clear social problem, from gun violence to the infrastructure of,
hip hop music and
the industry, right?
And
I think society should do better for rappers. I know that sounds dramatic or anything, but I just mean from a big picture standpoint, you know, I'd really want to stop seeing rappers die. I don't want to come on the podcast.
I want to stop seeing black men die.
Yeah, like I hate this is such a reoccurring topic.
It's a tough situation because there's so much that goes into it on both sides. It's because, like, excuse me, it's like rappers are dying. That's one fold. And then you get into, okay, how come this is happening at such a rapid rate? Then you could take it to a lot of these rappers have ties with the streets, maybe involved with the streets themselves, maybe have past beefs from being in the streets. And it's like, okay, what's going on with that? A lot of these labels are actively trying to sign like hood dudes, gang bangers that are making music because that's what's popular in those cities in pop culture. Those are the guys that have the most love technically,
which perpetuates the issue. You're putting gasoline on a fire, dude.
Exactly. So you're doing that. You're signing rappers, and they're making diss tracks about each other. And this is like a completely different from PNB. I'm just going on a tangent. People are making diss tracks about each other. Labels are gassing that up, putting people in the same areas for them to basically like just kill each other. And then also from the consumer side, it's like some rappers may feel that pressure because people are like, oh, I don't want to listen to this if it's not authentic. He's talking about a certain type of lifestyle. If he's not doing it, I don't want to listen to it because it's fake. You have to live your raps. So now some people may think, oh, maybe I do have to go out and shoot someone to be able to say that I shot someone in a song. And I'm not condoning speaking negatively or speaking violently in music, but that's just how some people feel, that they have to really be living this life. And then if they're not, the internet is just full of trolls, and that could get to some people's head. Like, look at Lil Durk. Lil Durk and King Von were like super, super, super good friends. King Von gets killed. People know the type of music that Lil Durk makes. I guarantee you right now, if you go to Lil Durk's Instagram, in any of his photos, all the comments are Sly for Von, Sly for Von. You didn't Sly for Von, Sly for Von. Lil Tim's still alive, Sly for Von, Sly for Von. And it's like, yo, so now you want this man to
go take another life,
go to jail for the rest of his life,
or get killed for killing someone else.
And the person making that comment is someone from the suburbs.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Like, doesn't really know what they're saying.
And now his family, he has kids. His kids don't have a dad. His parents lost their son. He's the breadwinner of his family. They lost that income because you guys on the internet feel that he's not real because he didn't go slide to kill someone that killed his friend. Like, that's stupid.
There was even
ridiculous.
Like footage. I remember I think it was after King Von died, there was footage of Lil Durk like in the airport or somewhere with security, and they were like, how the fuck are you supposed to be a hood nigga and you have security? It's like that's exactly why. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I feel like at this point, regardless, Lil Durk has a lot to live for, whether it's his kids, it's his career, family, whatever. So, I mean, if you know that you know, whether you have jewelry, I think that was me, sorry. Okay. I think it was whether you know, whether you have jewelry or you are still involved with gang relations, why the fuck would you not have security? You think people are going to want his head. People want his head to say they have his head. Like, why are you clowning him for having security? What, you want him to just start shooting up places all the time? Are you guys okay?
Yeah, the internet is crazy, bro. And then also on top of that, that's when things like the PNB situation happen, where it's like, yo, he gets killed in this Waffle House with his girlfriend. Now a big group of people want to blame his girlfriend because she posted that they were at Waffle House.
Right.
And now it's think pieces and tweets about how could you do this, and you should never post your location, that, and she set him up this, and people just throw wild accusations around before the man is even in the ground. How do you not? People don't consider other people, bro. You don't think, like, first of all, the thing that I always wanted to say to this is like, yo, do you guys not think that regardless of however these people saw that he was there or not, do you not think that this lady who just saw her loved one get killed feels terrible already? Like, you don't think she's blaming herself?
Right.
Now she has to go on the internet and seeing people say that she set him up or you're the reason that he died because you posted XYZ. Like, bro, that's insane to say to somebody.
Right.
Unhinged behavior, I think so. I think what bothers me about that like element of it all, there's random people, faceless AVs and handles that are saying
God,
this type
I
of
hate
stuff.
the faceless
No,
people.
but listen, right?
Show yourself if you want to talk shit to me.
And I think that's one thing, but I think it's also crazier when people who are recognizable celebrities, people who are big rappers, people who are, step in on this. Because I even seen like Kodak post like this girl should kill herself or something.
No way he did that.
Said something to that effect, and there were other people who were chiming in, and it almost became about that, like what the celebrities' opinions about the issue was.
We took away from like PNB's life was lost, but now we have celebrities arguing about the girlfriend is in the wrong, and you guys should know not to post. First of all,
we talk about it moving on too quick. This is part of the reason,
right? Yeah, because you guys are literally taking away from the issue, which is a life was lost, right? And outside of the video, which is disgusting, we talked about that. People have no sense of respect, humanity, whatever. Arguing about his girlfriend. First of all, people who work at Walmart talking about you should never post your location. Who's looking for you? Okay, regular people who are talking about that's why you don't post. Who is looking for you, Kevin? Who?
Like
why are you even talking right now? We were all at Rolling Loud posting our fucking location.
Exactly. People
we go to the club and people, even if we're not posting our location, people can see a certain color in the club or a certain piece of art and be like, oh, she's at this club. You know what I'm saying? So since when is everyone talking about, we need to, as a society, we need to, fuck off.
Yeah, you guys, like, that's the thing with the internet. Everyone is so perfect all the time. Y'all act like you move so militant all day, every day. You guys never... Fam, like, it's not hard to find where people are. If that's even what you wanted to say, it's not hard. If there's anything distinguishable at all in any place that you are, people will know that you are. Don't post anything until you leave. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, safety-wise, you probably shouldn't post until you leave an area, but people do that. Yeah. I do that. A lot of people do that. Like, people... That's just a thing that people do. Right. Most of these apps, if you record a video on the app, you're posting it as soon as you record it.
Right.
So people know exactly where you are. Like you said, you're at the club or you're at this place, or people are posting their cars and places that they frequent. Like, it's not hard to find people. So how are you trying to blame this woman for the death of her boyfriend off of her posting a picture of food?
Yeah, it's kind of like the everyday people who are chiming in. I'm like, all right, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And when the celebrities chime in, it's like, okay, I understand the notion of, celebrities. If you're at that scale, if you're like on like let's take Cardi B and Nicki Minaj for example, right?
That will.
If you have a fandom that will literally kill for you, or whatever the hell they want to do, yes, you're not going to post your location, right? Because first of all, they'll probably try to like not harm you, but they'll probably put you in a situation where you don't want to be. Hence that situation where she was in Europe swarmed by people, right? So yes, if you're at that level, like Drake's not going to post his location. Drake's not going to post that he's at fucking, I don't know, Yorkville at the whatever store shopping, because people will literally swarm Yorkville if he posts that, right? He has how many million followers and how many of them are in Toronto. People would do that. I understand that. But now let's not play the blame game because you're a celebrity. We understand that your life is different and you probably implement those rules because you don't want, those forms of people, your safety, your family, your privacy, whatever. That's fine. But let's not play the blame game now at this woman's expense. And we definitely saw Nicki Minaj and Cardi B they weren't adding, but you had one view, which Cardi B was like, it's very stupid for y'all to come at this woman, like let her more. And like, it's probably like, you are very dumb. And then Nicki Minaj was like, well, after Pop Smoke, like she should have known better, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, why? Once again, like I said, now we're taking away from the actual problem.
This is the room we're in now. It's like,
now we're into Nicki and Cardi beef. Like, enough.
Location is not, and people just need to think. Location is not even something that if you are in a big group of people can actively be monitored. There's 4 of us in this room right now. I cannot post that I'm here. If you post that we're here, people still know I'm here. If you post that we're here, people still know I'm here. And all of these people that go to these clubs, parties, after parties, private parties, whatever, with hundreds of people, okay, you don't have to post that you're there. There's 50, especially if you're famous, there's 50 groupies here that wanna show that they're in the same room as you. There's 50 dudes that want to show that they're in the same room as you. So you cannot post all that you want. That's not gonna stop anything. Like people need to just, what was that?
I have no idea. It's crazy.
It sounded like King Kong just fell on the roof.
It's wild because we're on the top floor.
Yeah, so this is the people beside us.
Anyways, yeah, people need to just stop.
I also think, like, you know, people have this old "don't get caught lacking." I seen one girl say, like, "Why didn't she have a gun in her own purse?"
Oh my god!
You know, wild takes, but like when you think about these rappers,
Because it's so easy to have a gun and shoot somebody,
right?
Yeah, every woman who dates, you know, I'm not saying that like it's just like we're saying it like it's it's just so easy to pull out a gun and just shoot someone. Like what are we saying right now? What are you, like? This is not
Anything.
power.
That's what
this
happens.
is not Snowfall.
People
Like
are
let's
just
be fucking for real.
People say anything. I saw a lot of people saying, "Well, where I watched the video and why wasn't she in the video? If that was my man, I would have been by his side trying to help." Like you don't know what she was doing. What do you mean? Why wasn't she in the 10-second clip?
Have you like the thing is like these people like have you? And I hope you haven't like watched someone bleed out. Like to me, I don't know. I would probably be in shock. I would probably be
911.
I would probably be passed out or like on the floor. I would.
That's the age that we're in. Is if you don't see it, it didn't happen. So just because she wasn't holding him in her arms, you think that she did nothing in the situation? That's so stupid.
And also just, I don't know, in the bigger scope of it and people talking about other, you know, rappers that have passed, you know, Young Dolph was on his way to get ice cream. Cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Pop Smoke was in the shower. Nipsey was going to his personal store to make sure shit was good. Like, regular life situation. Dude was getting chicken and waffles, you know? Like, it can happen anywhere, you know? It literally seems like every moment of their life they need to not be lacking, right?
Yeah.
Which is hard. Like, you can't...
But I think, like, before we move on, I think that goes for anyone. Because I was talking to one of my cousins about how I want to move to the States. And he was like, why would you want to be a target every day? And to him, it's like anything, like, he's like, anything can happen in the States at any given point. Like, there are gun laws, anything like that. He's like, you are literally walking. And I mean, that, don't get me wrong. It can happen anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I could walk out anywhere on any day and get hit by a car. God forbid, anything like that, right? When you're meant to go, you're meant to go. But definitely in the States, it's a lot more frequent. Like they're shooting up grocery stores, stuff like that, random shootings, racial motivated killings. So it's like, to him, it's like, why would you want to live in a country where like you literally, when you leave your house, like there is a more higher probability that you may lose your life than any other, which I kind of understand. But yeah, I mean like.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah. I don't know what the, like, it's very, it's sad. I don't know what the takeaway or the moral.
But there's nothing, because the sad reality is this isn't the first, and it's probably not going to be the last.
It won't be the last.
Yeah, right? So there's really nothing we could do. And it sucks because especially me as a black man, like this is something that I think about as well. And I always wonder if other races of people think about this. Like I genuinely think sometimes like, yo, like I could be killed. Like someone could murder me. Someone could shoot me, whether it's here or whether I'm in the States, whether it's places like when you go out, this is a thing that you think about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And actually, no, I did. I asked one of the people that I was cool with, one of my white homies, I was like, yo, like when you go out, do you guys think about danger? And he's like, no, like we just go out to have fun and that's it. Like that's not even a thing in their mind. I'll be at clubs thinking of my escape route in case someone starts shooting up the place. Like that shouldn't be how you live.
And in Toronto, that's happening a little more frequently, unfortunately. A lot of these clubs are getting shot. One just got shot up like this weekend.
Couple blocks.
But I mean, like I said, the celebrity culture, like I said, we're taking away from the issue. But
rest in peace, PNB Rock.
Yeah. But speaking of celebrity cultures and moving on to, more lighter topics, we'll get into it.
It's a serious 50 minutes here.
Or no, right?
People,
Speaking of, so getting into like lighter topics. Ice Spice.
You thought I was feeling you?
That nigga on munch. Period. Ice Spice, right? How do y'all feel about her?
How do I feel about Miss Ice Spice? I feel like, personally, I get it. Like,
you get what?
I get it. I get it. Her as a brand, I get it. Because the music industry, the entertainment industry, it is not just about talent. It's not just about look. It's about the whole package. And I think she's in a position right now to where she has a really good... Yeah, she checks the boxes for what the current climate is. The music that she's making is a popular subgenre of music, drill. She's from said place. Like, she's from New York, from the Bronx. She's kind of, to my knowledge, the first female drill rapper from New York that's this big, like, that's getting this much attention. You can't think of anyone else
from New
that
York?
is getting a female drill rapper from New York that has gotten this much attention.
Yeah, okay.
No, you can't think of any. You cannot think of any. And then, of course, you know, because of society, we all know it's harder for darker skinned women to come up in the entertainment industry. She's a light skinned girl. She has a nice body. Like, it just, all of the quote unquote entertainment boxes that people would need, she's checking them.
Right.
And then she got a song that got popular off of TikTok. Another box that's checked. She has it's a song that women enjoy. That checks another box. And I said that because I like to predict songs before they get big. So this was a song that one of my homies could tell you when it was still a TikTok song. I sent it to him. I'm like, yo, give it 2 weeks. Every girl's going to be putting this on their story, guaranteed. And what happened, just like clockwork, it worked. So I get it. Do I feel like currently at this moment she's the most talented artist? No. She herself said in her interview, she started rapping a year ago. Like, she never made music before a year ago. So she still has to develop. But, like, I get it. But then at the same time, it's like, the issue that I have with the entertainment industry is people get too big too fast, don't get to develop, and get put on these pedestals and put on these stages that basically set them up for failure. It's like, this is her first big song, and now you're at all these festivals, all these shows, with
changing the price,
doing.
That's why I brought it up.
Doing one song,
yeah,
and because it's a TikTok song, people don't know the whole song. Watch any video of her performing Munch. After the chorus is done, everyone's silent. People don't know any other words.
Yeah,
like you like the song, do you?
I don't want to say I like it, but I'm not.
Lot, right?
Yeah, I hear it a lot. I don't mind. I listen to it, but I'm not like
Oh, okay, hold on. So finish the lyrics, right? You thought I was feeling you? That nigga Munch. Nigga, eat it for lunch. Bitch, I'm a baddie, I do what I want. Like,
you thought I was feeling you?
That nigga Munch. How's the rest of it go? Bitch, I'm a baddie, I do what I want. Like, what's the first line of the first verse?
Something that doesn't really mean. Something.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Nobody knows. TikTok is making these artists blow off these songs. People are liking snippets of songs. They're not even liking full songs.
What did she say? What does she say? Something about keeping a bean. Something skiing.
Exactly.
I don't know what the lyrics are.
So, like, I like her energy. Like, right. I like it. I like the aura. I like it. So I would never diss her.
Yeah.
But it's becoming a lot very quickly.
Yeah.
And people are starting to turn on her. She's getting like I saw someone say she's getting the Coi Leray treatment, where it's like people are it's starting to become a trend to make fun of her now.
Well, yeah, I mean, so it's not. I don't like making fun of, like, you know.
See, it's not because it's true. She's getting the Coi Leray
people
treatment.
have like you thought I was feeling you, and the pictures of her beside like someone else with like red curly hair, or like someone did Adonis. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
But the reason why I brought her up is because I don't know how accurate this tweet is, but someone said that she went from doing club bookings or whatever at 3K, and because was it 3 or 4K?
I think it was 5. Between 3 to 5.
Okay, between 3 to 5K. That was her club booking, right? 3 to 5K, and now because, you know, she was at Rolling Loud Toronto. She's coming out at festivals. She's coming out at shows. Blah blah blah. She's up now. Her management's upping her price. So now they're going back like, actually, you know, because her song is doing this amount of numbers and she's coming out of this festival and doing this, her number is now 15K.
What do you guys think about that part?
That's
specifically?
insane.
Literally fuck off.
I don't even know how that is possible, because once you, unless it's in your contract that you're able to change that rate, once you sign the contract, that's what you're getting paid.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you blow.
Even if there isn't a contract, like that's how business ethics kind of work.
100%.
Right? Like,
No,
And my
I would
thing is-
understand. My bad to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I would understand it if there wasn't a contract, because then I can kind of throw my weight around where it's like, yeah, I said I would do it a couple weeks ago, but now like I'm popping and the demand is higher. If it's a contract and I'm booked on this date and we have a binding contract that this is the amount that I'm getting paid, how are you even able to switch it? Because that's how actually how Lyrical Lemonade, like Cole Bennett, that's how his whole thing got popping, because he threw a concert in Chicago. He booked Lil Uzi. He said for $8,000. I think he booked Lil Uzi for $8,000 about 3 months in advance. And in that 3 months, that's when, I don't know if it was Love is Rage or Love is Rage 2 dropped, and Uzi took off. Like Uzi became the biggest thing ever. So now he got Uzi for $8,000, but Uzi's the biggest artist in the world right now. So that sold out his festival, and that's what started Lyrical Lemonade. So imagine if Uzi came back and was like, actually, yeah, you booked me for $8,000, but now it's $75K. What? You can't do that. That's just a thing. Even me being in entertainment, once I sign a contract, it doesn't matter how much more followers I have, what happens. I could get 6 million followers tomorrow. If I already signed a contract to be paid X amount, I can't change that now. You just have to hold that, and then going forward, you could change it.
My thing is, it's like, I agree with Clyde in like the business ethics perspective. It just looks sideways. You know what I'm saying? Like,
business.
Respectfully, I was trying to book you for you gave me a number. That number was between 3 to 5K. I agreed to that price before your ass got big. Respectfully, you should have even honored and like been grateful that I was offering you that money to book you. Now you want to come to me about I was just at Rolling Loud Toronto, or you know what I'm saying? If that's true, I was just doing this and that, and now my number's this. Fuck off. No.
I think you should honor it, but if there is no contract, you can kind of...
You can, but it's like I said, it's the business,
it's nasty.
It's an ethics conversation, right?
It is little nasty work, you know?
It's like, why, what?
But like, you know...
Like, don't do that.
Fat Joe says.
Yeah, I understand yesterday's price is not today's price. But when we already agreed on yesterday's price, leave it the fuck alone.
When it's in writing.
Exactly.
Too.
If it's a that's what I don't get. Like, imagine you're trying to buy a house and the house is $500K, and then Drake moves next door, and now the person that owns the house is like, actually, I know we already closed.
I don't think you're being hypothetical. I think this happens.
I'm sure it does.
Like, we closed for $500K, but it's 2.5. Like, big man, I already packed up my boxes. What do you mean it's 2.5 now? All these people already think that she's coming to this show.
Yeah.
And now people are gonna start calling you Kingston Fest because she wanted to up her price out of nowhere.
Yeah.
If that's true, that's wild. That is insane.
Listen, people gonna want money. People want money and they want to get it how they can. But that is crazy. And when people want money, they do crazy things. Even now, the GoFundMe conversation, right? There is a woman, I'm not going to name her, but she is from Toronto. Recently, she posted a GoFundMe to say that she was stranded in Jamaica. So listen, my thing about GoFundMe is I think it's a great thing, right? People do need help sometimes. And people out there do have money. I'm all for, helping the community, whatever, especially when it comes to like funeral costs, natural disasters, stranded, victims or whatever. I'm completely support people who do GoFundMes, right? Now, I'm looking at this specific woman sideways because she's fairly known in Toronto because everyone reacted the same. Everyone was like, bitch, what the fuck? She posted a GoFundMe and was like, hey, I got stranded in Jamaica. I was robbed. I need help, right? Then she went on to post a list of what she wanted help replacing, right? If it was more like, hey, I got stranded. I need help getting a flight back to Toronto. Got it. It was like, I need help replacing my MacBook, my AirPods,
cash,
my Beats, $4,000 cash, this pair of shoes, this and that, these other headphones, this purse and I was like, okay, now bitch. Sorry. Now let's be, this might sound rude, but I don't give a fuck. And in that case, when does GoFundMe go from, hey, I'm in a really like difficult situation and I really need help, or I might as well be asking for money on the street? Because to me, you should be asking for money on the street. Why the fuck is it my problem that you lost your fucking AirPods? And why are your AirPods $600? Did Steve Jobs sign them himself?
Yeah, that's not
Did Steve Jobs rise from the dead and handcraft your AirPods as to why they are $600?
That's not GoFundMe. That is an Amazon wish list. I'm not paying for your AirPods.
Like I'm saying, so as people, and apparently, so her previous goal was $12,000, which I was like, girl, fuck you. I don't know you, but fuck you. People actually need help. Like I say, if you were asking for help to, replace my passport, or help to replace, to get me a ticket home because I have no money, my card is stolen. Yeah, for sure. Get a little $600, $700 to fly back home. But you're asking me to replace your $600 live fake AirPods? Girl, go to hell. And then the picture was like a modeling photo of her.
Yeah, I saw a lot of discourse.
Like, what? Make it make fucking sense. So I'm saying, let's draw the line. Like, if you're using GoFundMe, let's really draw the line as come and start being like, listen, you should be on Young and Dundas.
Should be with Believe.
Banging on pots and pans with a Pikachu guy.
You should be on Young and Dundas. Because at the end, if you're begging, you're technically begging for money. You're not. People who beg for money are in tight spots for sure. But there are scammers out there who beg for money. You should be doing that. You should be scamming on the street. Don't be scamming on GoFundMe, trying to run people's pockets from fucking replace your MacBook and Beats and who even travels with Beats, AirPods, and Bose?
4 racks and cash. 3
different types of earphones she's traveling with. Girl.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a little
like weird. I'm saying, when does it go from I'm in an emergency, I need help, to I'm basically panhandling on the internet?
Yeah, I feel like GoFundMes should be reserved for like funeral costs and
funeral, natural disasters, victims of anything.
Yeah,
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I'm happy you guys said it the way.
Like, it's not like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but I broke my MacBook screen and I need to go fix it. Like,
I mean, in that case, I could have started a GoFundMe after Rolling Loud. So,
it even depends on the situation. Like, there's a lot. I think should be context to GoFundMe. Like, even that. Okay, say it was like a very a person that's living in poverty. It was like say I knew like a 16-year-old graphic design prodigy, that is living in poverty, and
you want to get them a MacBook to practice.
She's trying to get into this top design school, and she needs to submit this to be able to get her scholarship, but she broke her computer. Let's get her $1,000 to get a new computer. Sure, I will buy you a computer because you need it.
Yeah.
If you
you're helping someone who can't afford it but has a big vision.
Lost your computer. Tough cookies, baby. Like,
tough cookies, baby.
Everybody, things get lost every day. Ask Clyde.
People are gonna want to know why we keep throwing punches at Clyde.
Let's see how good they get before we have to explain.
Things get stolen every day. I was at basketball practice and someone stole my iPod Nano out my bag. I would never forget it. Yeah. I probably should know who it is. Harjin, I know it was you.
Yo, but there's probably kids like that now that are coming out of the change room after gym class with tears running down their eyes, and the next step is starting a GoFundMe to get their iPod Touch back. Like, I remember that era. Like,
there's been times where like, you're in like the gym change. You're like, where the fuck's my phone, man? When you bitches took my phone.
No one's leaving. I'm checking everyone's pockets before they leave.
And everyone's like,
It's like, I gotta get to a class. Like, I can't wait in here.
I don't know, man. I wasn't even here.
The hood man used to tap people's pockets like, everybody empty their pockets right now. If I see any of you have my phone, it's up. You lose things. It's a part of life. Yeah. Things get lost. Things get broken.
Yeah, like I said, even if she did get, like I said, this story sounds fishy to me. Even if she did get robbed and whatever, your personal belongings is not my fucking problem.
Facts.
We should be, if you want help, you want help for your well-being and your safety to get back home, maybe a couple $100 for whatever expenses, but not to replace your fucking fake ass Steve Jobs signed AirPods.
She wanted to upgrade. It's like an
Steve Jobs
insurance scam.
I was like,
How would that be Steve Jobs? Clyde.
sorry, I didn't think
That's
that
like
was-
an insurance.
I don't know. Maybe they were signed by. I don't know if there was something that made them more special than regular AirPods.
I feel like that's what people do with insurance.
No,
scams.
I didn't see the actual GoFundMe. That's what I was like. Wait, was that something that she put down
I
or
think
tried
she's
to get
just
off?
being a fucking idiot. Like she put each item and the cost beside. People were like, "Hold up, why are the AirPods $600?"
I heard about that, but I didn't see the actual. I didn't know
Yeah,
she
no,
put that
I'm just being facetious and saying Steve Jobs must have rose from the dead and handcrafted them as to why the fuck they're $600.
I know Steve
She's
Jobs
putting
is
the
dead.
new prototype version of all the stuff. If it was the first generation AirPods, she had the fourth generation AirPods.
It's like, I lost my MacBook Pro, but it had 64 gigs of RAM on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a regular one.
But I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of feel it though, because like you might as well try it, get an upgrade. Like
There was a part of me that kind of.
if someone is stole, like I feel like, you know what, it depends, because I've done something like that before. Low key, now that I think about it, I've done something like that.
Like what?
I was wearing my hat, right? This was back in the Nike Tiller hat days.
Yeah,
I was
Trap
going
Soul
to a
days.
club, had my hat on. This was when you weren't allowed to wear. This is when you had to still wear like Chelsea boots to the club. They wouldn't even let you wear
The
sneakers.
Chateau fit.
So I was there. They're like, "Yo, you can't wear the hat." This dude that I know, his friend is like, "Oh my," and he's a white guy, so you know how he talks. My buddy has a place across the street. I could just go leave it there for you. I'm like, all right, cool. He went, left the hat. Boom. We leave the club. He goes. He's like, yo. He tells me afterwards that his buddy's place was closed. So he just put it like behind a plant in the apartment building. So he said, yeah, I went back over there and it's gone. And like, I lost the hat. I'm like, what do you mean it's gone? He's like, yeah, this hat's gone. But he's like, you know, just tell me how much it was and I'll give you the money. I was like, yeah, $90. Oh my God. That hat probably cost $19.99. That man gave me $90 that day. And you know what? I don't feel bad. Because nobody told you to go put my hat behind a plant. You could have told me that the man's place wasn't open.
Yeah.
And I would have made different plans or something. But you know what? Now you're getting taxed.
I'm screaming.
That's
That's different though.
That's like
That's
the on
different. That is still
steroids
different.
version of what I did with that joint this weekend.
No, that's just economy. That's just capitalism.
Supply and demand.
That's regular.
I mean, we'll see. After this, we'll get into Rolling Loud just now, but like after this weekend, we're gonna need a holiday, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
No. Or I don't know where you're going yet.
I know where she's going.
you know where I'm going? So I'm saying after Rolling Loud weekend, I think that we need a holiday.
What kind of holiday?
We were supposed to get the Queen's Mourning Day,
Okay, you are going where I thought.
right?
Yeah, let's go.
But Doug Ford is our Ontario Premier for people listening outside of Canada.
Unfortunately.
Doug Ford is a I shouldn't say fat. Sorry. That's rude. Caught myself there. Is a big bitch. Are we okay? He's a big bitch.
Get it? So the way he's a big bitch.
And he did not let us have the motherfucking holiday. We are all working on Monday, okay? We are all working on Monday because that big body bitch will not give us the motherfucking holiday.
Word. That's very insensitive. You
Only
can't see that.
us
You can't.
and Quebec don't have the fucking holiday, you know?
You
Fuck
can't-
the Frenchies and fuck Doug Ford.
You can't see that I'm mourning. My chest.
No,
sorry.
the nose grab is real because people who mourn, they always grab like that piece.
Oh my Jesus. God, too soon, man.
You're
I
sick,
need the
bro.
day. I need the day.
No,
Hey, I got white British family members. I need to console them. And
my
make sure
father,
they're
rest in
okay.
peace, was
Like,
a UK man. Swing me the fucking. Do I have to apply for it?
Yeah, I have
Swing
family.
me the holiday,
I have
yo.
family in South London.
I have family
need to
in
tend to
London.
them.
I was looking forward to smoking a Lizzie
Bro,
pack on Saturday.
not smoking the Lizzie pack. Oh God.
I didn't say all that now.
But I was like,
that was Clyde Smith. When the royal family comes after this podcast, that was him.
I was not like, me. To me, it's like respect. You know,
Free
listen,
Meghan Markle.
Queen Elizabeth had a very problematic history, right? Between colonization and taking jewels from Africa, and her family being racist, and isn't one of her sons like Prince Andrew, whatever, the one who was in the Harry Weinstein. Am I okay? Weinstein. Jeffrey.
Who's Harry Weinstein?
Harvey Weinstein. I put Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein's name together.
But you said Harry. Where did Harry come from? So
Prince
Harry.
Maybe
something Prince.
Okay,
Harry. I don't know.
Okay.
Harry Potter.
Too many white people names in my head.
They're British Harrys. Jesus.
Point is Prince Andrew her son? Or like son? I don't know. But either way, he's in her bloodline. He's like messing with underage girls. Like, that family is just so fucking corrupt. So, I mean, like, okay, the queen, she gone. She also, I feel like older generations had more connection to the queen, because even my mom was like, oh my God, the queen's dead. And she was like, you guys never had to pledge allegiance to the queen in school? I was like, no. And our generation's like, Mom, we don't care. Sorry, it sounds really bad, but like, the queen's dead. It's not like she was like murdered in her sleep. It's like she died of natural. Sorry, I know it keeps squeaking. She died of natural causes, and she was like 110. Like, let it be. Let it rest.
Now, granted, I will say that I do not condone people making fun of anyone that has died. I will say that. And I said the same thing with what's his name, with Kevin Samuels.
Right.
I don't agree with people making fun of dead people.
Right.
But I do understand why people are taking that angle.
Right.
I don't agree, but I understand.
Right. And so do I. But to me, it's just like,
I kind of feel like sometimes,
I mean,
I don't know.
Look how many countries were colonized under her reign.
That's what I'm saying, man. She like didn't allow like minorities to work at the royal palace.
Yeah.
Like, not even that long ago. So
like, and also with the whole like Meghan Markle stuff, and them saying how black is the baby. I'm not saying this. I mean, it's like, it just falls under the whole family. You know what I'm saying? I could give less of a fuck about the royal family.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't give less of a fuck about the royal family, because like, why? Why am I idolizing these white racist people? Are you kidding me? No way in hell. No way in hell. But that all to go into, we're not getting the fucking holiday.
Tragic. Homies in London, I know they're chilling.
Yeah, they got like a whole 14
drinking
days.
a 2-2 Magnum, building up a Zuby in that.
Oh my God.
They're having a blast over there, bro.
Yeah. But yo, let's get into the Rolling Loud recap for the last, hopefully not half, but the last time and the last end of this episode, because this Rolling Loud recap is going. People want to hear it. Yes, you're gonna hear it all.
I have seen these two individuals 4 out of the last 7 days.
Yeah, we need a holiday from each other.
This is a lot.
I don't want to see y'all motherfuckers until next 2 weeks.
This is a lot.
It is a lot. But, you know, as people, guys know, which thank you and shout out to Rolling Loud, people who were Live Nation, who accepted us, but we were official press at Rolling Loud. I will say it was a good experience. You know, we had access to great stuff. We got to talk to some really great people. It was a good time. I think there are some revisions that need to be made when Rolling Loud, if Rolling Loud comes back next summer or whenever. I think this is definitely a learning process for them. It's the first time, you know what I'm saying? You know, there's things to learn.
But for the most
part, it wasn't a bad time. I don't think it needed to be 3 days. And if it was going to be 3 days, I think they need to do it more in like peak summer, where this weather might be a little bit more less of a gamble, because day 1 and 2, the weather was, day 1 it was hot. Day 1 was hot. Day 2 was nice. It was comfortable. Yeah. And day 3, I'm like, it is cold as fuck. And I'm miserable. And it's raining. And it's windy. And I'm annoyed. So there's that. But all in all, nobody got like murdered at Rolling Loud. People were scared about gang violence and all that stuff. That didn't happen. There were some pretty good performances. I'm not mad at it. I think they had a decent run for the first time them coming to the city. They were also like it was pretty successful. You know what I'm saying? Outside from the border issues and people not being able to come here, you know, it was easy to navigate. Nothing crazy happened. To me, it was successful. Y'all want to talk before we go into the day-by-day breakdown?
Yeah, I kind of share the same sentiment. I have realized that I'm not really a festival person. It's a lot of walking. Now, granted, if I get invited to a festival, of course I'm going to go. But do I personally think I'm going to take my own money and buy tickets to a festival? Probably not. I wasn't even really a concert person to begin with, if you keep it a stack, because most music live doesn't even sound as good as the records, if we're being honest. Mm-hmm. It's a very small percentage of artists now that sound good live and their music is enjoyable live. So that's not really my thing, but I did enjoy it. I feel like if I'm going to festivals, I'd want to do different festivals to see if there's any difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Because Rolling Loud is a very specific niche audience. Like you kind of, when you think of Rolling Loud, you can picture who's gonna be there, like artists and consumer wise. Like you know what type. There's gonna be mad dirty Air Force One.
There's an aesthetic to Rolling Loud.
There's gonna be
very weird aesthetic, which I saw people like
shiesty masks. There's gonna like
I saw way too many shiesty masks for the temperature it was outside. That was so crazy.
Yeah, it was cool, but
I have the same sentiments.
Should have been 2 days instead of 3.
But my thing is, if it was going to be 3 days, they need to move it up in the summer and give us 3 solid days of lineups. So I want to go. But anyways.
Make sure everyone crosses the border. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you make it.
So anyways, let's go. So day 1, right? The people that we at the Relentless Diary watched, unfortunately, Lil Skies. I don't know why we even were there. Involuntarily. We watched Dave. Lil Uzi didn't make it. We watched A Boogie with the Hoodie. We caught a bit of Roy Woods. We didn't see Shensia. We did not see Shensia because I don't know why the fuck they put her so early.
That really bothered me.
Because we were also doing the press interview at that time, and she was so early. Do they not know Shensia has a big... No, I didn't.
I saw one.
Apparently it was like a 10, 15-minute set.
And like it just looked... I think whoever was before her was a drill artist, so I think like right after, it was kind of like a hard transition because I didn't see people turning up in the crowd to her set specifically. It was the only kind of time I saw a not hype crowd.
Right? We saw Central C. Shout out to Fine Man, UK brother. We saw...
Unknown T.
We saw... I think that's it.
I think that's it. I think Unknown T was the first person we saw.
Yeah, and like Lil Skies we saw because we just got caught there. I don't know why the fuck we ended up there when Lil Skies was there, but regardless. So like I said, day 1 was good. I think we all had a good day. Tresor was getting love left, right, and center from every woman in Toronto who saw him in real life for the first time, calling him by names that were not his name.
We had Shans come on one time, and she said being in the UK with Tresor is like being with like a really high-profile celebrity. Being at Rolling Loud was probably like the exact same thing. It sucked walking around with a camera with this guy.
I mean, to me, it was like, I expected it, obviously, but it was like people who did not, like, girls were like, oh my God, Tresor.
Like strangers, yeah.
Oh my God, Tresor. I'm like, look, between me and you, correct these bitches if they say your name wrong.
Now, usually, I get it, and usually I probably would, but it's like, that takes so much effort because I don't think there's ever been a time in my life when I've corrected someone saying my name wrong and they got it right the first time. They'll be like, yo, Tresor. It's like, Tresor, huh? Tresor, huh? Tresor, huh? What? Tresor, huh? So this 10-second interaction just turned into a 45-second interaction.
Yeah.
And I would rather just not do that.
Okay.
So just, what's up? Let's talk.
My day 1 sentiments, it was a good crowd. It was hot. I went out on Thursday night.
But before that, what was their best performance of the day for
Central C. No question.
When?
More than Dave?
Well, I'm saying that because I saw Dave live a couple months before. I went to when he was live at History a few months ago, and the set was very similar. But I've never seen Central C live, and I think Dave has good music, but I think Central C...
But also, Dave's not really festival music.
Yeah, he's not like hype man. Yeah. Hype.
Dave will have a good concert because everyone is there for Dave. They know what they're coming to get.
People just want to get Bruck at a festival. People just want to get wild.
Was Roddy day 1?
Yeah, we did. No, Roddy was day 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did not discuss.
He I don't think Dave is festival music. He's definitely big enough to be a headliner, and he should be a headliner.
Yeah.
But I could see why that wouldn't be what you want to hear at a festival in North America. I'm pretty sure it works in London because Dave has certain songs that are really, really, really big in London.
Of course.
That
And here.
That I don't think he would perform here or that ring off differently. Because even when he brought the guy on stage to do Thiago Silva,
Yeah.
When Dave is at Wireless, for guys who don't know, Wireless is a festival in London, a big festival. Thiago Silva will bring that whole place down in London. It's not gonna do that here because it's not the same. Like, we don't really listen to grime. We don't know the history of Thiago Silva, the song. So it really depends. That's another thing with festivals. It depends where you are, because you see how Central C got love here. Central C,
Because he's fine as hell.
I was talking about the music.
Don't
Central C,
objectify him, though.
Central C in Europe, mainly outside of the UK, he'll say himself. If Central C performs in like France, Spain, Portugal, you would think it's Michael Jackson. People love Central C in Europe.
I get why.
He is the biggest artist out there.
I see.
And I'm talking about music.
I am agreeing with you.
Not a piece of meat, Zoe.
Music.
I am agreeing with you.
How is this any different from the Mariah the Scientist, LMA, Karuchi, Ice Spice conversation?
Well, who are we talking about?
compared to Central C.
Central C?
What's the difference?
I don't understand what you mean.
I think the contrast
Like-
between an artist like Central C
Him,
and
like,
Mariah
no, I'm
the
talking
Scientist.
about him being at the level that he's at and how hyped he is and the love that he's getting compared to them because of how he looks versus someone else who doesn't look like him.
You think
Do
it's
you
all
think
because
You
of
think
his
it's all
looks?
because of how he
I
looks?
don't
I actually
think
like his
all.
music.
He has good music, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, do you think, because I've heard people say the sentiment, like some people, and I'm not saying this is me, I'm just saying this is what some people have said. Some people have said because he looks the way that he looks, kind of racially ambiguous,
Okay.
whatever, that he is bigger than what some people think he should be, or someone else who does similar things.
I see what you're
I
saying.
could see that.
Yeah.
But I don't
that's
think
true.
that. I think that's true. That's probably. I mean, I'm sure there's other probably UK artists
I
who
thought you meant
should
from a
be
look
at.
standpoint.
Yeah,
My bad.
I'm sure there's other UK artists that are maybe like darker skinned or whatever that are probably like as good as him, maybe even better, who don't have the thing. But he definitely has. He has the female thirst. Female thirst plays a huge trap.
And it's not his
Or a
fault.
huge part
Like,
in-
he's just him. So
Yeah.
you can't blame him. but-
Yeah, he has
And
the.
if it
fe-
works, like use
yeah,
leverage what
he's
your
good
strengths
looking
are.
and he has the female thirst, and he's a good rapper. So I mean, he just has. You know what I'm saying?
And a phenomenal performer. That man put on a great show.
Yeah, and Dave has female thirst too. Not like he's more like.
Not like Central.
Not like Central C where it's like as out there, but there's definitely girls who be thirsting for Santan Dave.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I swear, like there definitely is.
No, I do. I agree. I think it's for a different reason. But
I think Dave is very handsome.
because I think Dave, but I also think all that's magnified because of Dave's talent. I think Dave's talent adds into why people love him so much. He's not a bad looking guy.
But I think
at
for
all.
Central C too.
I don't know. I think if Central C was a normal guy, like girls would still love him off to
I
the
think
same.
he is
the same
kind
rate.
of a guy.
You mean like if he
Central
wasn't
C-
like a rapper,
yeah, if he
like
wasn't
like a
famous.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
If
Yeah.
he wasn't famous, I
But-
think it's different. But anyways,
yeah. But regardless, day one was good. Nothing really crazy happened day one.
just a lot of walking.
A lot of walking
across
and
fake bridges.
yeah, I was super hungover from Thursday, so I was like, felt like shit. Like the beginning of the day, I was like close to being sick before the Pressa interview, but we held it down, and yeah, I think day one was pretty good. Day two was probably the
It was
best
good,
day.
yeah. In terms of the festival,
It was
Yeah.
the best day. Yeah.
Day 2 was a really good day.
Yeah, day two was Saturday. It probably was it was the best day out of all 3 days.
So who was day 2?
We saw the most artists in day 2. So day 2, let's look at the list. We saw
And we had fun, like turning up and just.
we had a lot of fun.
vibing.
We
Like, it was
drank
just
a lot
great-
more.
it was
We
good.
saw Lil Yachty. We saw
Y'all saw Skepta.
Skepta. We saw Roddy Ricch. We saw Future. I think that was it. Oh, Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
And that's all that we caught on the day 2. Day 2 was just that we were more like the crowd was definitely way bigger.
Packed.
Day 2.
That was the biggest turnout.
That was the big. I don't know because it was Saturday. I don't. Maybe people like they got off work or whatever. They bought more tickets. I don't know. But Saturday was a packed day. It was also a really nice day. We got there because like we are who we are, and I loafed. We all loafed it Saturday actually. And I wanted to get there for Skepta, but obviously because I loafed it and I took so long to get ready, we missed the beginning of Skepta. I like heard Skepta's set starting when I was walking to like the Rolling Loud grounds, and I love Skepta, by the way. I saw Skepta live when he was here, I think in like 2018, or maybe 2018, 2019, I think 2018, when he was at Rebel. But I literally like sprinted like from the hill, if you know where the hill is, down to like the press entrance. Tresor probably has footage. I was running to catch Skepta, and I did catch because Skepta's just, he's so talented and he's so fine, and he's just, regardless, sprinted to see Skepta. Day 2 was good. Roddy Ricch had a really good performance.
I just want to say about Roddy's performance, maybe it's because the last couple songs that he's put out or the last project he put out weren't things that I like enjoyed that much, but like everything before that, like I remember when he came out, I was a big fan of Roddy Ricch. So like, I don't know, maybe my expectations were messed up. That man put on a fucking phenomenal show. Roddy Ricch, his music ability, just from playing keys, his vocals and everything. The way he dealt with his band in the stage, I was really impressed with Roddy Ricch's performance.
And even when he performed Die Young, and he had like the tribute to like literally all the rappers who have been murdered or have passed away at a young age, like that was really like a good touch. He had a very like emotional, like felt, I would say, like performance, which I really enjoyed. Sorry to rewind a little bit. A Boogie with the Hoodie on Friday. His performance was actually really good too. And he had like dancers and like fire. Like his performance was really good. And he, to be honest, with A Boogie, I didn't realize how many A Boogie songs I know. I think I knew almost his whole set. And I don't not listen to A Boogie, but I don't actively listen to A Boogie all the time. But I knew like almost I'm like, oh shit. Like I kept forgetting like, yo, this nigga has like bangers on bangers on bangers on bangers.
He doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
He definitely doesn't.
People forget. People definitely forget because he's not as active right now, or he doesn't have tracks that are super hot right now. People
but he had bangers.
From like, what was it? Like 2015 to 2017, 2018. A Boogie had like the biggest songs.
Yeah.
And A Boogie birthed a lot of these new rappers.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
How they make their music, it's A Boogie.
All types of kids.
Yeah.
The flows, A Boogie.
But anyways, back to day 2. Skepta was good. He had a good turnout for his crowd. Tory Lanez. For everyone who's saying in the city that they don't fuck with Tory Lanez, this and that.
It was packed.
It was, and
People
there was
were
a
running
point
when they heard Tory was
I
coming.
was like, hold on. Either y'all fake as fuck or no one here like cares about the situation, because the way
the internet is not real life.
The way people have been saying like Toronto doesn't support Tory Lanez, why would they add him to this the festival lineup? It's gonna be shit, blah blah. I looked around and I was like,
pack up like a can of sardines. It cannot escape. It cannot get out.
I was literally like, this is a really big fucking crowd. I don't think they were as engaged as he wanted them to be, but it was a really, 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 really big crowd. And that was, VIP wasn't too packed, but GA.
Yeah. Because it was still light out. You could really see everybody.
Yo,
I
think I have a video of just me like, yo, look at all these fucking people here for Tory Lanez. I'm saying, y'all are fake as fuck. Because I was like, I looked around like, hold on. Why are we here? And I saw Tory and I said, hold on. I thought it was somebody else, to be very honest. When I saw Tory Lanez come on, I said, wait, this pack up here for Tory? After y'all said he was done in the city? Where?
Clearly not. No.
Whoever did his sound check.
Oh my God.
You guys did a terrible.
Yeah,
you guys set that man up for failure.
Oh,
That made
God.
me really upset.
His mic was too low. The band was too loud. Like it just wasn't.
And he was being Tory. He was like doing his best to, and they cut him short too, right? Like I remember at one point he was like, "Oh, they just told me I got 10 minutes left," and he was 4 songs in or something like that.
I don't know. I think, well, also he's a last minute like fit in, right? So maybe he just got like a small window. It doesn't matter, but his sound was really bad, like really bad. His mic was way too low. His band was way too high. It was just, I'm like, what is happening? He also, you can tell it was quick because he didn't have like no visuals, no fire, nothing exciting, just like him running around the stage. And respectfully, Tory Lanez is like 5'3", so it's like you running, like you on the stage isn't doing, you have to move around the stage, big man. Pull a whiz kid, move. He wasn't doing too much, you know what I'm saying? To like really work the stage, but I don't know. Regardless, people showed out for him, so Toronto got to look at themselves now and see, do y'all really hate this man? Or all y'all fake? Because y'all were there to watch.
They were. And then the chaos ensued.
Was the chaos after Tory Lanez?
Yeah. It was before Future, after Tory.
There was no one in between that?
I don't think so.
Yachty wasn't in between that?
Oh, yeah. Lil Yachty was
I think Yachty was
before
Tory.
No,
after Tory.
Lil Yachty was after, because it was dark when we went for Lil Yachty.
Okay, so it was after Yachty. So,
Yeah.
anyways, Lil Yachty goes on. If anyone knows Lil Yachty's catalog, and you know the song Coffin,
Me and Trisha were
you
both
know what
very
that
adamant
does in a festival. And me and Clyde were saying, yo, we want to hear Coffin. And I just know that this was the song that he was going to come out to. Like that's just
I thought
There's
he was
another
gonna
Rolling
end
Loud
it.
video of him walking on stage, and it's one of the most like epic videos you'll ever see, like of performances and like an artist emerging on stage. So that song, Coffee, you know the way it's like the drop on it is crazy.
I thought
like,
he was gonna end with it.
Nah, that's how he starts. And I was like, yo, see, this is where we have two different stories here. It's my story and Zoe's story. In my story, I'm like, yo, we need to go to Yachty. I want to see him do Coffin. In my story, Zoe's like, we're here already. Let's get this, because we were getting content at the same time. Like, let's just go to the makeup place quick. She never said no, let's don't go. She said, let's go to the makeup place quick, get the content, and then go. I'm like, yo, he's gonna do it as the first song. We don't have time. She's like, nah, let's just go quick. Because we were like standing in front of it, but it was behind a gate. So I'm like, fine. But to get around was a very long walk to get around the gate. And by the time we got around the gate to the makeup place, I heard the song. Yeah. I'm like, yo, it's on. I'm like, God, it's on.
You're like, I can hear it.
I can hear
it's
it. The one song I wanted to hear, it's on.
Okay. Listen, let me tell my version of the story now. My version is, yes, I agree. I wanted to get some content in between, right? Because we needed content. And lots of shit it looked like it was a full day. There's so many people. We were seeing wild outfits, I wanted to get some content. So I'm like, yo, let's just go we went to the cereal bar first. And then you're like, oh, I gotta go see Coffee. I'm like, bro, like, we'll see it. Don't worry. Because in my head, I did not hear you say it's gonna be the first song. In my head, I'm like, it will be later in the set because it's a big song. I did not know it was going to be the opening track. So I said, yo, let's just go real quick to the beauty bar, get some footage of the beauty bar, then we'll book it over to Bet 99 stage. I walked in front and I said, let's just go. I can hear Tresor in the background about, if I miss Coffee, blah, blah, blah. I said, so go watch.
And now this is where men and women are different. Because logistically, that makes no sense.
Why?
We are at a festival. We're getting...
Wait, why are you not... What?
We're at a festival. We are supposed to be getting content. I should be a part of the content. 1, even if I'm not. 2, we are at a festival. I'm going to go off alone at this festival in the middle of thousands of people, and I'm supposed to somehow find you guys back.
But we were gonna come watch Lil Yachty. I just wasn't in a rush.
But if I went over there to go watch Yachty, and then you went over there to go watch Yachty, what are the odds that we are gonna be in the same place watching?
We would find each other. VIP was not that big.
That's a lot easier than
VIP was not that big.
It's
we
a
would have
mad
definitely
optimistic way to
found.
think
We
about it.
would have found each other
because that time I don't remember who we were watching. Who was it? I think it was Central C.
Yeah, when we found each other.
No, when you guys were in VIP and we
Sheck
came
West.
to watch. They were in VIP. We were watching in GA, and then we went to VIP.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't find you guys until after it was done.
No, because it's like, I see you. You texted me. You said like, oh, I see you. Or you're, I literally have the text. You were like, when Central C was on, you're like, oh, like I see.
For Central C.
Yeah. That was on the first day. Yeah, you literally said, so you guys did see us. It wasn't hard to find someone in VIP.
No.
Not on the Uber stage VIP was bigger.
The texts
And
weren't
the
going
texts
through.
weren't
Like,
sending.
Yeah,
so
that was a
in my
crazy
mind,
part.
I'm like, yo, this doesn't make sense for me to just go off right now. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Also, moral of the story is Tresor got mad at me because he actually did end up missing Coffin.
The one song I wanted to hear.
And the thing is, I'm about to go make content. All I hear is, I can hear the song. The song is on right now. And I was like, my bad, fam. But regardless, we got really good content
Yeah.
that we should have.
Another part that we have not discussed was Clyde came to me and he's like, I'm glad you made the fit that you did because I wanted to hear it too. Wait, what?
Did you? Oh, yeah.
I thought I was just as adamant about wanting to see Coffin.
You didn't seem that adamant. Tresor was the one like,
Listen,
I want to see
you
it.
also gotta
I want to see it.
You gotta understand the perspective that I had approaching this whole concert and festival. I wasn't gonna set out to like want to see anybody that, especially the people I wanted to see,
Right.
especially how the day started. Because the way that day started, I was like, yo, I just need to see Pressa today, bro. I just need to see Pressa. I'm gonna be down there.
We
at 5:30.
interviewed him.
But I wanted to see him perform.
Oh, okay.
Like it was his first his
Toronto,
own set in Toronto.
yeah.
And we were all supposed to meet at 5:30 and I'm there at like 5:25 waiting for
What day
y'all.
was this? This
And
was
then
day one?
This is day two. And then I think it was about 6:45 that y'all are, oh yeah.
We didn't get there till
We
like
didn't get there till late,
6:40.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we're watching Skepta and I'm at like exhibition waiting for you guys. I'm like,
I
Jesus,
texted-
how did you guys get here and then to the actual stage?
'Cause
and then
I
didn't
ran.
say anything to me.
I texted Clyde.
sent a text and I said, yo, I'm trying to see Skepta.
I know that doesn't indicate, we're not meeting with you. You just gotta meet us at the concert.
When we were at exhibition, I texted Clyde. I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, we're at exhibition. But
And then I went and started walking through exhibition.
It probably didn't go through until
Probably,
maybe a couple minutes later because I'm looking around for you. I don't see you. And then by the time you said, where are you? I'm like, we're like halfway there already.
I'm also like the cameraman. I'm not even really on camera for any of this content. So it's like, I gotta document.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah. And I'm not... I'm not worried about what I want to see and all these. Like I'm working like this. That was the perspective I had. So I wasn't gonna try and strong arm any. You guys are the content or the protagonists and whatnot. So that was why I was kind of like, all right, thank you. So
anyways, point is, we got good content which no one will see, and we will explain why. And we got over to Lil Yachty, and we still got
Amazing
a good amount of the
Great,
show.
phenomenal.
Like
Amazing
Tresor was, yes, he missed Coffin, but he was in there having. I think that was the most I saw you have fun at the festival.
I did not know how much I enjoyed Lil Yachty's songs, but I think it's because
when you were doing the shoulder.
Oh my god! I think it's because Lil Yachty makes very good festival music.
He does.
I'm not gonna listen to those same songs on my own time because it's just not the vibe that I'm in. But in that
that was the best Oprah's bank account has ever sounded.
In that area,
I've never liked that song more than
when I heard it. But I was like, oh, this song is hard.
Even one night was like, wow, this is a masterpiece.
Lil Yachty has amazing crowd engagement.
He does.
Yeah.
His show is just a really good show.
Yeah.
If you want to turn up, like you just want to jump up and down.
And he has a lot of double time flows where he's and he says every syllable and everything.
He was rapping.
He was
Lil Yachty's
rapping,
good.
man.
He's
Breath
good.
control, everything. He was actually rapping the songs, and I would not expect that Lil Yachty would be one of my top, if not the top performance for me through the whole festival.
And it's also good because there was a point where Lil Yachty, like I said, he's a very strong worded, listen, whatever I say goes. And I don't know why he wanted all the lights off.
Because he wanted everyone to turn their phone
Oh
lights
yeah,
on.
he wanted everyone to turn their phone lights on. And he was literally like cussing out the like cameraman, or not the cameraman, like the light team, like, yo, turn the fucking lights off. Turn the fucking lights off. I'm serious. You up there, turn the shit off.
Like the screens, turn the screens off too.
Yo, nigga, move the fucking spotlight. Why the screen? Turn the fucking screens off. Put your lights up. The screens are still on. I'm like, okay.
I mean,
and the thing that I found funny about that is like, I'm almost certain that like for lighting, it takes a couple seconds.
Right?
It's not an on and off button.
You can't just turn all
You
the
can't
lights
just turn off
So
3 mega screens with like the touch of a button.
So even if they turned it off as soon as he said, it's gonna take some time.
Right.
So now you're just getting cussed for no reason because it's like, I'm trying.
And the thing is, I was looking at the light because they're like the spotlight guys were like up on the top, right? And I was like, look, and you can tell they're trying to like move the spotlight up, but you can't shine a spotlight in like the sky like that's because planes and stuff. So they were like trying to figure out
like
where to put it, but you also can't put it on another stage because the spotlights go far. So it's like, where the fuck do I put this? That's not gonna interfere with anybody else.
I'm pretty sure though that,
and you can't point it at the crowd.
This whole thing, though, of getting mad at the lighting guy, I think started with Kanye, man. Because I remember
Was
the
it?
Watch the Throne tour. It was part of his set to cuss out the light guy for all of the lights because he wouldn't put all the lights up.
Yeah.
And, like, he would stop the song 3 times. Anyways, it's cool to see artists really doing it now. But
Lil Yachty I was surprised. He's actually really good.
Amazing performance.
Now we can get into the fuckery of day 2. The nonsense that happened with the policia.
We go back to
Uber
set
stage.
up for Future at the Uber stage. We get our spot. We're chilling.
We have a
We have
great
some time to
spot, by the
waste,
way.
yeah.
We have an amazing. Oh wait,
there are people we know,
It was
too.
like half
it
an
was
hour.
Like,
yeah.
Everyone was there waiting for Future. We had time to waste. We're mingling,
Drinking,
chilling,
talking, yeah.
drinking,
Yeah, it was
talking.
really
I'm
good.
talking.
We were like
to
double
people.
fist. Yeah, we had double fisting drinks.
was in a
Yeah.
good mood.
I went over. I saw some girls that I know. I went over. I'm talking to them. So I'm just having casual conversations. And all I hear, because I was the closest to that side.
Yeah.
All I hear is, move, move, move. And I turn around and I see police strong arming people out of the way. Because the police in the front were just regular police. They're
Yeah.
pushing everybody out the way. So I'm like, let me take my ass out the way. I step to the fence. You see 40, no exaggeration,
40 to 50.
to 50 police officers with AK-47s
Sticked up.
running through the VIP, and they're all passing, and I'm like, what's going on now? I'm like, yo,
I
can
knew
we
for a
just-
fact. I'm like, yo, someone either just
was
got
like,
shot or
oh
has a
my
gun.
But I also
God.
seen mans running with them, you know?
Yeah.
Like I seen people from whoever's crew or entourage like running too. So it was
I'm like, oh my, I'm like, no. But besides just the fact that I'm like, no, something's happening, I'm like, not right before Future, bro. Like, come on.
Really,
Like,
literally.
You waited until right before the headliner to do. You couldn't have done this at 3 p.m. Why are you guys doing this now? And then it got weird because the helicopters started flying over.
When I saw the helicopter, I said, yeah, I'm like, something's wrong. I saw the helicopter, I'm like, something's wrong.
But like nobody
Someone's
really
down.
knew what was going on because all of the stage lights are still on. Like police aren't telling people to evacuate. So it's like, okay, did something happen? Did something not happen? And then you're hearing multiple stories. A security guard's telling me one thing. Someone else is saying something else. No one's really in a state
Someone was like, a girl got shot on the other stage. I'm like, girl got shot by the other stage.
yeah,
Like, what
people
the
are
fuck?
saying something happened on the other stage. No one's really in a state of panic, though. Everyone's kind of just
Except for
standing
Cass.
around, except for Cass.
Cass was upset.
Cass was scared.
Everyone's just standing around. We're looking around. I'm standing with Zoe and Clyde. I'm looking for Cass, and it's like, have you guys ever seen a puppy when there's fireworks going on outside, and they're like hiding in the corner, like shaking and trembling? That's what Cass was doing. Cass was behind a porta potty on the phone, like she was saying her last goodbyes to her family. And Zoe's like, yo, just go comfort her. I'm like, yo, it's okay. I'm like, it's all right. You're good.
Bro, my thing
I'm
is
trying to
like,
make jokes to comfort her.
I'm a comforting person, but the thing is, I already told her, like, yo, it's good, like 3 times. So now when I see her over by the porta potties on the phone, I'm like, Contrasor, please, go give her a man's touch because why are you crying? Why are you crying?
Don't you feel like Zoe is the worst person to have that happen to?
But my thing's like, bro, I said it. I'm like, yo, the thing is, she grabbed my arm the first time, like freaked out, pulled me, like, oh my God, and I'm like, girl, it's fine. I'm like, we didn't hear no gunshots. I'm like, no one's running. You know what I'm saying? Other than the police, there was no like herd of people running. Like, you know what I'm saying? If it got to that point, I would be like, yo, oh man, let's go. Like, I'm you know what I'm saying? I'd be scared. But I'm like, Cass, I'm like, relax. I'm like, until we figure out, you know, what situation, relax. Like, no, they have guns. Why do they have guns? I'm like, because they're police. That's why they have guns. No, so something happened. And I'm like, girl, I already said 3 times, relax. And then, you know, she was calm. I looked to see the corner of my eye. She's on the other side now. Crying, not crying, but like tears forming. Face dropped on the phone. I said, just let her go. Just go, please. Give her a little hug and like, cause I'm like, what is wrong? We are okay. We are safe. You are fine. The Caucasian, I don't know if she has Caucasian in her, but something deep inside her just jumped out. The Karen said, oh my God, the niggers.
Yeah, people were,
everyone
was chilling. Like,
Forecast.
Everyone was chilling. And I don't know if it's like my time in Chicago has desensitized me to like potentially dangerous situations. But now I'm at the point now where it's like, yo, unless I'm in imminent danger, I'm not running
The
anywhere,
Raptors
bro.
parade was way worse than that.
Yeah,
if y'all were
yeah,
at
that
the
was a
Raptors,
stampede.
that was like literally like it's either I remember I remember looking to my right at the Raptors parade and just hearing it sounded like
a
stampede of elephants, and I just remember like, yo, in my head it was like, Zoe, you either run or you die, because you will literally get trampled. And I grabbed my girl's hand and we just started running because you had no choice.
I didn't even grab nobody's hand.
Thousands of people and we were right at the exit. So they were all running towards us to leave the middle of Nathan Phillips Square. And I just remember just looking like, oh, fuck. And just grab my friend's hand and sprinting out the way.
I met a nice young lady there and I was talking to her and her friends. So their backs was towards the commotion. I was facing it. Now just imagine this, you as a woman, Zoe.
I am a woman.
I said you as a woman.
I thought you said imagine you as a woman.
No, imagine, you as a woman.
Okay.
I'm speaking to you for the first time, you know, we're exchanging vibes, right? Mm-hmm. And remember, your back is to the commotion. We're exchanging vibes. And out of nowhere, because this is literally what happened. We're exchanging vibes and out of nowhere, I just turned around and took off. I didn't say a word to them. I saw people running. I turned around and I took off. And by the time I clocked and I turned back around, it's like it was just pandemonium and it was gone. And I was like, yo, like I don't have her contact. I've never seen this woman again in my life.
Have you ever seen her again?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow, that's hilarious.
Goodness.
Because no. Because what happened was I got her Instagram, right? And I ran. I booked it. I ran because I was by myself because my friends went into the crowd. So I was literally alone.
I would never speak to you again about her.
Ran. Stopped, turned around. They were gone. I'm like, damn, it's a wrap. It's over. I'm like, it is over.
Did she pull up on you like a supervillain? Like, you left me for dead.
No, I tried to find them again. Couldn't find them.
I would have been like, fuck you, nigga. You couldn't even tell me like, yo, run. You couldn't even say like something like,
my instincts
let's
kicked
go.
in. My instincts just kicked
or like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga.
My reaction, my fast twitch muscles activated.
Your selfish ass muscles activated.
I'm used to being, I basically grew up as an only child. I'd never been in a relationship. I'm not used to having to think about
you need to
other
work on
people
that, Tresor.
as well.
That's honest, though.
It is, but you have to work on it.
And this is a trend because there was another time.
Whatever the opposite of that
There was another time where we were in a situation back in high school. If you guys are from Brampton, we were at Chinguacousy Park for Canada Day. And you know how rowdy that can get. Something happened. Everyone started running. I'm running. I'm with a bunch of my friends, right? My friends are with their friends and whatever. Bunch of my friends. We're all running. My head is forward. We're running. I feel someone like tugging on my shirt. I just swipe. Get. Cause I'm running alone.
It's a child?
No, cause I'm running alone. Just get. I'm running, right? So we all gather. Me and Amanda, we all gather. One of the homies is like, yo, Whereas Ashley is his cousin, right?
Okay.
And in that moment, I was like, that was probably Ashley.
Holy smokes.
And it was. But I'm like, ooh. My bad. If I knew it was Ashley, if I knew it was her, I wouldn't have done that.
What is wrong with you?
Because I don't look. I'm a react and ask questions later type of person. I didn't look back to see who it was. I just felt someone tugging on me, and I just got them off of me.
That's black people instincts to just run, you know?
Yeah.
No.
Just
Usually, because even when I grab my friend's hand to run. So you just don't have that think of other people.
Remember, you guys are women. You guys move more in packs. At men, it's more of a every. That's a fact. That's a fact. You guys move together. You go to the bathrooms together. Like for safety reasons, you guys move together.
in packs, though.
In
sounds
packs.
funny.
For men, we're more of like a every man for themselves type of situation. It's like you're looking out for each other, but it's like everyone has to figure their thing out on their own. If we're all getting chased by cops and it's 5 of us, if I hop the fence and you go that way and he goes that way, if y'all get caught and I don't, that's not my fault. You can't say I should have went with you guys. Like, things happen where it's like, yo, every man for themselves now. So I haven't really gotten into that. After that, I've been trying to be more aware. I haven't been in another situation like that, but we're off on a tangent. But yes, the police and people were
Anyways, the police, all that shit, it ended up being okay.
Nothing.
Things did quiet down, but that really delayed Future's set.
Like 40
Future was
minutes.
supposed to go on at 9:50. He didn't go on until maybe like 10:45.
But I think you could say that the pressure was still high.
What do you mean?
Lots of pressure that was still going on at that time.
Oh God, I mean, yeah. There was a man there who he's a fan of the podcast, so he might listen to this.
This is almost like a careful what you wish for ass moment, Zoe.
What do you mean?
You be talking about all the Toronto men, they don't approach and everything.
You're right.
You know?
You're right.
You be talking all this Gaza.
You're right.
Hey, look what you talk that much.
You're
a
right.
nigga might pull up and
I have
too
talked
much.
to Gaza. I've been talking to Gaza, and I've been saying, Toronto men don't apply pressure. That man was applying pressure like a pressure cooker. Okay,
maybe a bit too.
It was a lot of pressure.
So what happened, y'all? Is this guy came up, dapped us all up, said he's a fan of the podcast.
Started with Tresor and I first. Though.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
didn't
yo,
say anything.
And
to
then
Zoe
he
first.
said, I'm especially a fan of her. He said this to me about Zoe.
does this.
I'm especially a fan of her. And me, in my head, I'm like, yo, this is an amazing content moment. So I'm like, yo, you feel her? I'm like, yo, go get that, bro. Yo, go ahead. Go, shoot your shot. Go ahead. And I'm standing in the back like a coach, like with my arms crossed, like, yeah, I'm like, yo, Chris, make sure you're rolling. Like reality TV, like when they set people that hate each other in the scene, like in the same place.
Yeah.
That's was me. I had like my production headset on. I'm like, all right, like,
fuck off.
Roll camera.
Camera 2 rolling.
Roll camera.
That's how it happened. Yeah.
So he comes to me. Cause he literally like busts in between Clyde and Trey and
Like,
walks in
this is why
between them.
he
Like,
went
this
to
is why he
Rolling
came.
Loud.
And he was, he's like, I'm a fan of your podcast, blah, blah. I was talking to your co-host, Ray Tay Tay. He's like, just I want you to know, I want to take yours. I'm a chef, I'm a cook for you. And I said, okay. I'm like, well, I like food. I'm like, I'm taking the pressure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not pushing it back at him. He's like, guys, I'm a cook for you. He's like, for dessert, homemade cannolis. I said, okay, I like cannolis. I'm not mad at that. He's like, yeah. And then for dinner, sushi. And I said, I like sushi. I'm going sushi. And he was like, yeah. And then for appetizer, spring roll. And I'm like, okay, I'm not mad. There's a little Asian sensation, Italian going on. Okay, I'm not mad at this.
Laying out
He's
the
like,
menu.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a fine woman. Like, you're always saying you don't want Toronto man. How about a Barrie man? And I said, well, how about a Barrie man? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm from Barrie. And he's doing all this, like, like trying to be strong, like he's just strong. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you're from Barrie, okay. He's touching my waist, flexing himself. Yeah, you're a beautiful woman. Like, let me do something. You haven't been a man from, what you say? You haven't been a man from Barrie before? I said, no. He's like, yeah. So see, you need a Barrie man. And his friends in the background like, yeah. Yeah, she needs a Barrie man. And I'm like, you are here gassing your friend up, and this man is putting his foot in the pressure, feeling me up, this, and that. I'm there like,
mind you, me and Clyde are standing there, and I'm in the mindset where it's like, okay, I'm watching this, and
y'all are fake.
I want it.
No,
no,
we're not. No, we're not.
Opposite of fake. Because our mindset, I was like, yo, we're watching this.
They sacrificed me for the content.
We want it to like, we want to get to the line, but not cross the line.
And after I seen the hands and everything, I was kind of like, all right.
No, what he grabbed, tell me what about
yeah. He's talking to me, he's feeling up my waist, hand around the waist, blah, blah, blah. And he's like this close to my face. Like he's close to my face.
Also, I'll say he's clearly intoxicated. Like,
yeah, for sure. He was
has like
drunk.
2 drinks in his hand while he's talking to her.
Close to my face, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, you need a berry, man. Like, I'm about to give you that berry experience. He's repping berry like berry's a set. And I'm like, okay. Then the man grabs my chin and goes, and I said, whoa. I said, hold on. Now we're having so much fun, and these niggas need to come get me.
And then probably like 10 seconds after that, I'm like, all right, this is enough.
Like, he's like,
I grabbed him on the shoulder. I'm like, all right, man, all right, you're scared.
Like,
all right, you're
like,
and I said, you're okay.
And I said, hello, get him away from me now.
We're like, all right, buddy.
His boy was like the rapper friend that like is like, yeah, we do this shit all that type of shit. That's content right there. You usually gotta pay for that, bro. You usually gotta pay for that. But it's free for y'all. And I'm like,
you gave me content by this man literally putting his foot in his like for pressure. But whatever.
What else did he say?
I can't remember his name, but
yeah, and then he goes,
Darius.
I don't remember his name. No, it's not Darius.
I don't think it was.
Darius. There was another Darius.
No, yeah, but what's it called? Then he like comes. Oh yeah, he's talking to me. He's like, listen to your podcast. Like, you have 2 male co-hosts. How can they control themselves around you?
Let me tell you, buddy, it's not hard. Okay, when you know the real her,
it's a simple course of action, Darius.
Okay,
standard
both
procedure.
Both of you.
When you know the real her,
both
standard
of you.
When you do 50 episodes with her.
My point is, I was like, because they're my friends and they're normal. Like, what? What do you mean? Like, do you expect me to just like them to just like grab me up every episode? Like, what does that mean? Like, that's fucking weird.
Man, really doesn't have
this
as
is
many
not
woman friends.
Plug talk with Adam 22.
Like, what the fuck? But that happened. That was like shocking on its own. And Tresor's recording it like, yeah, brother, yeah, go for it. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes, like, enough. But I forgot his name. Fuck, was it like? He said his friends call him Rico. That's all I remember. I don't remember his real. He said, my name's blah, blah, my friends call me Rico. And I said, okay, Rico. Whatever the fuck that means, but whatever. Moving on. We were there waiting for Future. It was 10:45 and I say, yo, let's go. I'm like, Future's not coming out.
Someone was like, oh, my boy works here. And he says,
yeah, some girl was like, oh, my boy works. He's backstage, blah, blah. He said, Future's not coming. We should all just leave. And I was like, let's just wait a little bit. We waited like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, I'm over it, blah, blah, blah. Tresor was like,
I was having reservations. Yeah. I was having reservations because in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. Sure, stuff's going on. But I'm like, yo, the stage is still bright. It doesn't look like anything's shut down. No one has made any announcements. I'm like, I don't know. He might still be coming out. So, like, I was kind of about leaving, but a part of me was like, yo, we should just stay and see. Mm-hmm. So we started leaving. We're literally walking up the hill on the way out. And then I hear some girl goes, oh my God, like, Relentless Diaries. She's like, I'm a fan of your podcast. Like, I love the 3 of you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh my God, like, where are you guys going? And we're like, yo, like, it's damn near 11 o'clock. Like, Future's not coming out. She's like, no, Future's coming. Like, I don't want you guys to leave and miss it. Like, I want to come find you guys. I saw you guys walking away and I don't think I should leave. Like, he's actually coming. And then at that point, was it DJ, like TJ Banks, something like that? He came on and Tresor was like, who's that? They're playing music. They don't want us to leave. They want to play music. They don't want us to leave. And I'm like, fuck it, Tresor. They're trying to kill time to announce that he's not coming. Tresor's like, no, who's that DJ? Then Tresor Googles his DJ's name and it's like, see, it's Future's DJ. Let's go back. And we went back and Future performed for like 25 minutes.
It was a good 25 minutes.
It was like half an hour.
Yeah, but the thing, you can tell the set was shortened. Yeah. It was definitely shortened. He didn't perform all of March. He performed like maybe like the first like 30 seconds of March Madness. It was super light. Yeah, it was. I mean, like I've definitely seen way better Future sets, but you can tell like the whole like police shit threw it off. Yeah. They shortened his set.
They probably were saying it was probably easier for him to not have performed, and I feel like it was a decision. I hope it was a decision on his part to be like, yeah, let me give him whatever.
I
still respect the fact that they did something.
Yeah, they got him on stage.
I agree, but
so day 2 was cool.
Yeah, day 2 was really good. We went out that night. Dave had a private party at Soho House. It was a good night. Dave, him being a UK man and his UK friends were there. Some other UK rappers were there too. It was a really good party. I think Summer Knox was DJing. He's a Toronto
Shout
DJ.
out to Summer Knox.
He's really good with he was just straight Afro beats, dance hall, trap. It was a good DJ set. It felt like I was at a jam. I literally should have wore sneakers. I wore heels thinking it was gonna be on some type cute shit. I should have known nah, this was good. It was basically a jam. People were bubbling, gun fingers in the air, banging the walls. It was one of those and at Soho House. It was a good party. Open bar. We were double fisting, taking shots. It was good. So to explain why we've been taking shots at Clyde this entire episode, if you've gotten this far, I hope people have listened all the way this far. Day 2, I get a call from Clyde while we're at Soho House. I'm not drunk. I'm just, I'm chilling. I've had a few drinks, so I'm cool. Got a call from Clyde, him asking me, did you park outside of my place? And I said, yeah, I left my car there. I'm going to, come back and get it. My biggest pet peeve when people call me and say something or bring up something but don't explain why they're saying it. And Clyde is infamous of doing this. He does it all the time. So he called me.
Keep calm.
He called me and he was like, whatever, asked my parts. So I said, yeah. Then he's like, okay, I'll call you back. And I said, no, why are you calling me and asking me that? He was like, nothing, I just got to figure something out. And I said, no, what happened to something happened to my car? Because why are you calling me asking me about my car? He's like, no, nothing happened to your car. And I said, so what is going on? He said, I'll call you back. Hangs up. I said, okay, I'm about to get annoyed. I texted him, I said, what happened? Is everything good with my car? He's like, everything's good with your car. I said, so what happened? Why did you call me with this? What did you say?
I informed Zoe that I'm pretty sure that I lost the camera. Lost the footage.
Drop a bomb for that one.
Fair enough.
He lost the camera. I said, what the fuck do you mean you lost the camera? How do you lose a whole camera that has all of the best footage we've taken all weekend? So I go outside and I go to Tresor and Cass and I go, Clyde just texted me saying that he lost the fucking camera. Clyde and Cass, or not and Clyde, Tresor and Cass go,
my jaw drops
to each other.
And I look at Cass and she looks at me and we're like, oh my God. So he's like, what? I'm like, yo, when we were leaving, because Cass drove with me, Clyde went with Zoe. We turned out onto the street. We saw a camera in the road. And Cass was like, yo, that looks like Clyde's camera. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, it kind of does. That's weird. She's like, should I pick it up? I'm like, nah. We drive around the camera. Because to me, I'm like, why are we going to pick up this random camera out the middle of the street in this age of pandemics and this disease, that disease? And this area that we're in is not really the area with the most people that are all the way there, if that's the politically correct way to say that. It's not the best area. So I don't know what this camera has been through, People in this day and age are weird. Managers working in Foot Locker are busting in the shoes. I don't know what people are doing, right?
I don't know how it correlates, but...
So we just leave the camera. And this is hours later. So when Zoe tells us Clyde lost the camera, we looked at each other, we're like, oh my God.
That was the camera.
And now I'm like, yo, we should have just picked it up. I'm like, damn, it would have been that easy. If we had just picked up, we would be like, oh, that's crazy. We have it.
Yeah.
And it would have been blessed. I'm like, yo, we just did. And I don't know why, because I am usually a very, I like come-ups. This is a camera. I could have sold the camera. I could have kept the camera. I use cameras. I don't know why. I just felt to not take this camera. Because usually, I would have took the camera. I just felt I don't know. It just wasn't one of those. My spirit was telling me not to take the camera.
And the reason why it was in the middle of the street is because smart guy over here decided to put the camera on my trunk while we were chilling, talking by the car. I went to go use the bathroom.
There was an
came
interim
back.
10-minute period where I put the camera down.
You know, like when you go to McDonald's and like you're opening your car and you put the stuff on the
drinks
roof,
on top of the roof,
and then you forget and you're like driving
but
by.
drinks and camera are two different things.
Yeah, it's essentially what my genius, really smart ass did
So
with
Clyde
the
said, let me
camera.
just rest the camera on the trunk of Zoe's car while, you know, we're chilling here. She goes use the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. And didn't think, oh, wow, the camera is on the trunk of the car. Or, hey, I don't have the camera in my hand. Or it is also not in my bag.
Because
and
there was a significant amount of time that passed from when I put it down to when we left. I'm not saying that's a good reason why to leave it there or anything like that. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but
and obviously, if
that
something's
was
on,
why.
It's on the trunk of the car. You're not. If it was on the hood of the car, I would hear it roll down,
Or you wouldn't miss it.
or I wouldn't miss it. But
it was in like a nook crevice area of your like trunk, so it would.
there is no nook crevice. A trunk is a trunk.
Down toward. That's how you got that far before it actually fell off, because it was kind of like in a like where you. Anyways, there's no way where I'm redeemable in this
You're not.
story. So
the point is,
So she says, wait, go ahead.
no, you go.
So she says, yeah, he lost the camera. And then I think Zoe walked off somewhere, or you went to go call him or something. So you stepped away, and Cass is like, oh, I feel so bad. I'm like, yeah, I do too. And she's like, yeah, like I know Clyde, and like he's gonna beat himself up over this. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. It's a mixture of just how Clyde's personality is. He's very hard on himself. Plus, Zoe is not the most compassionate person.
Yeah, okay.
So as the
I
mixture of
appreciate
those,
that. I appreciate
that's
that.
why I was like, yo, let me just text him. I'm just like, bro, accidents happen. Like, it's okay. And I just left it at that.
Do you remember what I said back?
He said that he threw up twice.
you threw up twice.
I didn't throw up twice. I threw up though.
You threw up.
Yeah, I was sick. I lost the best footage that we had. I had one job, Zoe.
You did.
And I fucked it up. And also, okay, and think about this too. Like, we've done 50 episodes. This is a podcast, big and everything. There's maybe one time where we had a 3-angle setup and one of the cameras got messed up and we couldn't use the footage and stuff.
Yeah.
There hasn't really, like, I feel like this is my first big L when it comes to any of this podcasting shit.
Let's not make any bigger.
No, and I don't plan on it, and I don't have any intentions to. But I also just understand, and I know only Tresor will kind of understand this, you know, when you're a podcaster and you're going to this event to document it, and usually, you know, these two are the protagonists, but I'm also present on this podcast too, and I gotta, you know, access the side of my mind that is a director, editor, and I'm, you know, filming people, but then I also got to jump in front of the camera and be, you know, a personality as well. There was a lot going on. It was I don't know. It was, for me, I found out the difference between Chris and Clyde that weekend. Mm-hmm. We can dive more into that in another episode. Yeah. And I also want to say Tresor was really not that I deserved any, but the only person that was, you know, cool and being like, you know, it's all good. You know, mistakes happen and shit.
It happens. I think it's because I'm in the industry.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, things happen. Like, files get corrupted, audio's trash, things don't save, things get broken.
But also to Zoe's credit, to Zoe's credit, we also did, you know, our confessionals not too long ago for our vlog about the whole weekend. And I remember I threw up. I was sick about this, you know. I was very concerned. Zoe could have easily been a lot more upset and could have had a much more visceral reaction. So appreciate the team. Appreciate y'all for not being going
Don't fuck
too
up
hard.
again. That was my one and only time.
That's
of
what she
grace.
told me the day after. If you do that again, you're getting fired.
Why are your eyes bulging, Trey? You next? No, I'm kidding.
No, but and that's what she said to me. She went, "Oh no, I'm kidding, but not really.
But not
Don't
really.
fuck up again. I will
Because
get a new."
if you do lose another camera, I will get a new production guy. I'm kidding.
And low key, I'm kind of calling her bluff on that one too.
No, she's that. I think she's.
I'm calling her bluff on that one too.
If he was like a crazy, like, he's like, I got robbed, that's different. If it's like, yo, I left the camera.
And don't think that I didn't think to be like,
I got robbed.
let's think of a story that makes me.
I was walking into it.
Wait, what?
I'm saying, don't think it didn't cross my mind to be like find a better excuse.
I was
Wow,
walking into
that
my
would
house.
be crazy.
That would be nasty.
I was walking
That
into
would
my
be.
house
I'd be
and I
even
got
more
robbed.
mad if you did that, huh?
That's funny. If he was like, yo, I was walking into my house and some crazy homeless man just
Don't
snatched
lie.
my bag.
No, that's good that you told
I
the
have
truth.
to hit myself and give
But
myself a black
definitely,
eye.
That's funny.
I'm not saying you're gonna be fired, but I might have to, put you on a little.
Well, no, this is kind of what I'm
Go
saying.
on a retreat and
If the
and
Relentless-
get organization.
No. What you need to understand is that the Relentless Diaries, if it's a restaurant, you guys are the head chefs. I'm also maybe a sous chef, but I also make drinks and I also serve the food and I also expedite and stuff.
Right.
So, this is kind of why we got guys like Trey. Shit like that doesn't happen when you get your 4th media pass and the person who's supposed to just be the cameraman can be the cameraman, but when you got the co-host serving drinks, making food, and, greeting guests. Mistakes happen.
It is hard to do more than one job. I can't say that. That's definitely true. It's way easier
Thank you, Tresor.
Especially to even be efficient, it's easier if you just have
To get
one
50
role.
episodes through, and would you rather have lost a Pressa interview?
No, I wouldn't. If it was a president interview, I'd be way more upset.
Me too. Yeah, I would have been sick.
Like I would have been
Would have
like
been sicker. Would have been 2 throw-ups.
I would have been like, no.
Because, and
Like,
then
that's
also,
it.
like, it's a long day. Because there was a moment the day before when we were walking off. And so it was like, hey, you guys
that
left
too.
your camera on the
You
ground.
left the camera the first day. That's why I was kind of like, okay, so this nigga clearly
But
is
that was-
just not thinking.
No, I am thinking. There's a lot of things I got to think about. Thinking about more than just the camera, too.
But we could have lost the camera that day
I
if
know.
that man wasn't walking and said, yo.
That was not why, though. I would have gotten maybe 3 or 4 steps further, and that would have been it.
But that was the end of day 2. Now, day 3.
Day 3, I don't really have much to say
last
other
and
than
final
fuck
day.
Chromas
By
and
this
WizKid was
point-
great.
By this point, I am festivaled out by day 3. It was a lot.
And you got to imagine how she feels about being in this moment after losing a whole day of footage, and we're tired, we're exhausted, all our favorite people are getting canceled, so no one is in good
Yeah,
spirits
Fabio
right
got
now.
canceled. I was like, I'm annoyed with everybody and everything.
We didn't even really want, day 3 was definitely.
We really thought about not going.
I thought there was a
variable.
chance you were going to say fuck it.
To be honest, if we had the day 2 footage, I would have just went
For WizKid.
for WizKid at like 9 p.m. Because day 2 footage was so strong.
It was.
But if that did happen, then we would not have seen one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. Miss Chromas on stage. And when I tell you that is one of the wildest things that I've ever witnessed with my own 2 eyes, I mean it.
I mean it.
We were at the Bet 99 stage for Ski Mask. That's who was supposed to be on at 8:30. Ski Mask.
8 p.m. 8 people were mad that Ski Mask was on for Polo G's time because Polo G got pushed, remember? So for 8 p.m. Ski Mask was supposed to be on.
So we're there. I see a DJ come on, and then I heard it faint, but I didn't really take it in. Like I heard like a just like once.
And the thing is, we heard that, and we all looked up like, wait.
huh?
And they were in disbelief.
And like we
They were
all
no, it's
looked
not her.
up at the same time, like, no.
can't
And I'm
be.
like, no. I'm like, it's a soundbite. It's a soundbite. I'm like, it's a DJ set. I'm like, it's a
She was
soundbite. Don't
convinced
worry.
it was a soundbite, and I'm like, yo, I don't think it's a soundbite. This DJ has a Toronto accent. I don't think Ski Mask has a Toronto DJ. Like this might be what we think it is.
Yeah.
And then what do you know? Chromas comes on stage. The first thing, like, she kind of set herself up.
100% she did.
She came on the stage. The first things out of her mouth was, yo, 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 yo. Everybody shut the fuck up. From that point, the crowd was like, boo! Like, I think they might have allowed her if she didn't start like that.
Yeah.
As soon as she told everyone to shut the fuck up, everyone was like, boo!
Boo this man!
He was like, I've never seen a set like that. People are throwing
People were
drinks.
throwing open cans of alcohol.
Do you know how bad you have? A beer is $20 at Rolling Loud, and you just took it and threw the whole thing at someone. You know how mad you have to be?
My boy was in the front row. He said that someone threw a whole Yeezy at her.
A shoe?
Yeezy.
A Yeezy.
Jesus.
Not like a Adidas Superstar
Yeah.
or some, fucking Yeezys.
People were throwing cans of alcohol, water, shoes, the toilet paper.
How do you coordinate these things?
How
Where
did
did they
where
get-
did the toilet paper come from? Because there were like 5-6
Rolls of
rolls,
toilet paper.
like full rolls
You need to be
that they
organized
were
to do that.
whipping at this. I'm like, did y'all just have that in your bag? Like, did y'all run to the bathroom, come back and get? Like, how did you have that?
She was performing. People were throwing things on stage. She's throwing things.
She's
back
throwing
in the
things
crowd.
back.
The people on stage with her are throwing things back in the crowd. She's like arguing with some
you
girl.
can never fucking get me, bitch.
No, before that.
Are you fucking stupid? I'm like,
Getting her toes licked.
oh God, getting her toes sucked. She's nasty.
It was ridiculous. She was.
You can never fucking get me, bitch. She was cussing people out in the crowd. Like, girl, she needs to go.
Hold on, I'm trying to find.
Rolling Loud needs to take that. Rolling Loud needs to take that as a learning experience and never fucking book her ass again.
You know what makes me upset about that too is like what I said earlier. Like there was a lot of Toronto artists that I want to see that I didn't get to see, and all of them had slots that were before 7 p.m.
Yeah,
Why did get 8 p.m.?
I heard that she like pushed her time, like kept delaying it because she wanted a bigger crowd because she knew no one was gonna be there at 5 p.m. But bitch,
PM.
for a fucking or 4 p.m.
Literally the first
but for
performer.
a fucking reason, no one fucking wants to see you. She's like, yeah, DJ, play my shit, nigga. I'm like, okay, bitch, go to hell quickly.
The pronunciation of nigga with the heavy
Go
Toronto
to hell
accent is
quickly.
funny.
For any of you who have not seen the video, this was it. I got the exact moment that she came out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh my god.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh my god.
And then she starts arguing with this girl.
Forward, pussy. Like, shut the fuck up.
Like she was standing on the mics in front of the stage yelling at some girl. I want to know who the girl was.
She was
that
on the
Yeah.
monitors, eh? Like she was kind of almost in the crowd, like trying to. Security wouldn't let her. Get
My
her.
thing is, I just wish someone in GA was bout smoke to just hop on that stage and just boom, 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 feed her ass.
If that was you, if you did that, that would have made up for day two. That would have been great content.
That's a
Someone
fact.
was
That's a
sucking her toes.
crazy
Yeah,
Six
she had
Months
some guy
headlines.
up there sucking her toes, and I was like, you are a nasty bitch. Ew. And that man is even fucking nastier because she was walking on that stage barefoot, and now you're sucking her fucking toes, you nasty bitch.
Yeah, I don't like. It was wild. There was a lot of twerking, not a lot of rapping going on. There's a lot of ad libs, cussing, and twerking was basically the whole set.
But she needed to get booed.
she
No
got
one
booed the
wanted to
entire
see her.
time.
And almost, it was like that was her plan the whole time.
Coops,
Listen.
Coops was side stage taking pictures. He's telling me he's on the stage dodging drinks.
They had to like clean the stage after because like some shit actually made it to the stage. They had to like take shit off the stage, wipe down like water and alcohol that people threw. It was wild.
It was bad. It
But
was a shock.
well deserved.
But then WizKid came and saved all.
Mm-hmm.
He repurified the day.
Not before a very long Nav set, but
Oh God, no. Yeah, Nav's set was like 40 minutes. I said, who? Respectfully, why does
I think Nav's got good tracks and he's a good artist.
not festival though? Not festival.
Maybe not that aesthetic, but even his songs did sound good when he was performing them.
I don't care.
And he brought out
5EO
Realist
should have had that spot.
Oh, that would have been
Probably, yeah.
insane.
That would have been. It should have been 5EO and then WizKid. If we were gonna have
That
if 5EO
would've
made
been
it, why was 5EO at
insane.
5 p.m.?
Yeah, that doesn't make
It
sense.
was so early. He has real festival music.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if
Imagine
Fabio
you would
did,
played Weddy.
No, not even. Imagine if 5EO did Off the Grid at Rolling Loud.
Thank you.
Yeah, stop. Yeah.
Kanye,
I don't want to think
Fabio,
about it.
Playboy
Grid,
Cardi.
grid.
Are you insane?
Yeah.
I would have hopped the fence into GA.
Okay.
I would have crowd surfed if he did Off the Grid.
Yeah. So
What? That's crazy.
Yeah,
but
but-
WizKid, good set.
Most
Very-
expensive
amazing.
set I've
set.
ever seen.
I think WizKid absolutely had, because obviously like people pay for like their band, you know, the use of fireworks, the use of fire, the use of dance and all stuff.
Pyrotechnics, yeah.
WizKid had everything.
For every song,
And it was
coordinated with
perfect.
the drops of his
yes,
music.
and like the fireworks coordinated with the beats. Like it was like, yo, like there was definitely money put into this set.
Great
He
performance.
killed it. He was working the whole stage. He had so much. You can tell that nigga has stamina. He had so much energy the entire time. Did not lack.
And he was in a sweater vest, so I know he was hot.
Real Niger boy, because he was going and like, well done. He deserved that headline spot, and he showed exactly why. It was a really, really, really good performance.
Starboy a headline.
And after that, it was home time.
Yeah, right
The
home.
next day, I was sore. I'm not even gonna lie. Even today, I still kind of feel the effects of the weekend. Like
Yeah.
my throat's kind of sore.
Me too.
My back's kind of
Not
sore.
throat being sore.
Like, oh my god, like it was just. I just feel worn out. You know, like when you come back from a vacation and you're just like, yeah, like you've been drinking too much.
Yeah.
Like that feeling.
I'm so tired right now.
I'm still like
I'm tired still.
Yeah, I'm still tired. Like
Word.
it was a very long week. I packed the way I had 2 duffel bags and a suitcase. I packed almost my whole closet because I didn't know what I was gonna wear to what day. I was bringing it from Tresor's to Clyde's, from Tresor's to Clyde's, and no, I need to just de-stress.
Yeah, I need to chill for a few days. I don't think I'm going anywhere this weekend. I'm not even gonna lie. I think
I am,
sneaker cons this weekend, so I'm gonna go to that. But besides that, I'm not going anywhere.
But honestly, yeah, and that was a raw Rolling Loud experience. I would go again. I think they definitely need to get a few more better artists,
Yeah.
and at least like do the set times a little better. So
Make sure
like,
they cross the border, man.
I mean, they can't really control that, but I mean, at
Call
least
Drake.
like,
Do whatever you have to do.
yeah, make it a little bit less of a
I was
gamble.
surprised Drake didn't come out at all for anybody.
I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised
I thought
Do
he
you think
would.
it's a conflict of like festival interests type
between
thing?
that and OVO Fest.
Because he has his own festival.
I don't really think so, but I also think he's kind of like, you know, I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't have to do this. Like, why am I doing this? No.
Yeah. I just assumed either like Future or WizKid. I was like,
Drake
gonna,
would've
or
came
even
out.
Dave. Like I thought.
Well, he came out for Dave at History,
yeah. So if you're gonna do that history, you didn't do that Rolling
but I
Loud?
feel like he's like, no.
That's why I feel like it's a higher ups thing. It's not like a personal. I don't want to come.
Mm.
I feel like it's a corporations type thing.
I don't think so. I think he's kind of just like, yeah, it's a little too much for me.
Who knows? But
But anyways, that's that.
that's it.
That is that. If Rolling Loud comes back next summer, like I said, just get a few more, a little more artists in demand. Do the set times a little bit better. Move the festival up to like August-ish, where the weather's a little bit more of a better gamble, and I think they can do it again.
Yeah, I would even say even before that. I would say like July.
And before
Before
Caravana,
Caravana.
No.
I would say before Caravana.
I would say after Caravana for sure. I would definitely say after Caravana. But regardless, I would say I'm not mad at them. They held it down.
Yeah.
And shout out to them for giving us the press.
Shout
What?
out Rolling Loud.
That's that.
That's it. We're out of here. We had more topics, but no, I'm tired.
I think we have more topics we can definitely save.
And
They
we've
weren't
saved
like
them.
time
We
sensitive.
have spent more time with each other in the past 5 days
Yeah.
than we ever have.
Ever.
Ever.
Yeah, we need a long break.
Ever.
But
Until
we'll
we go on like a trip somewhere.
yeah, but we definitely will get you guys the vlog, the TikToks. Clyde and Trey are gonna work overtime. To get the stuff
You're a
together.
new production guy if you don't fucking do it right. Anyways.
No production, losing the camera. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in again to episode 18. I'm your host, Zoe, and lock in with us. Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, follow us, all that good shit. Make sure you're subscribing to everything that we do to keep up with us. And we appreciate everyone who saw us at Rolling Loud and, came up to us and gave us our praise. Definitely love all the time. But yeah, we out. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Everyone wants us to go weekly, by the way. We got a lot of people like, you guys gotta be weekly. It'll come.
It is coming.
It is coming.
It's definitely
And a
coming.
live show too. Also coming.
Okay.
So
Big
yeah.
promises.
You heard it here. We're gonna end it there. Outro.
Like Zoe, mama, I go relentless. What up, Zoe?